How's it going, everybody? So I'm here in San Bernardino, California, where you can see behind me, we've got the anti-Sharia protest and the counter-protest. I just arrived, so I'm gonna hop in and see what's going on. But the gist of it is pretty simple. In fact, the confusion is already quite apparent. The group over here is anti-alt-right. They've got signs saying anti-Nazi. And then across the street, you have anti-Sharia, which is kind of a different thing. I might have to switch to my other phone real quick, so let me get out of the street here and see if I can get a better connection. So I did bring my other phone. I've got a good connection here, it's just not really working for some reason. So for those that are just tuning in, this is San Bernardino, California. Says I got a very bad connection. Also, I forgot my clip, so I have to hold this thing the whole time, which kind of sucks. For those that are watching, how's the connection? Is it pretty bad? I got a bad connection. It's all right. Let's see what I can get on Verizon. On Verizon, I'm getting an absurd. I'm getting 20 megabits per second. Yeah, I'm gonna turn on my hotspot, so the connection might drop out real quick. But I'm gonna switch to a significantly better connection here, which should allow me to stream in high def. Alright, so I should be back up, and now I am on my other phone line, which is a lot stronger. That's why I went out and bought it. Got one sign over here that says, "Proud Muslims smash alt-right Nazis." Chanting, "The Trump regime must fall." And then across the street, you've got a bunch of Trump flags, American flags, "No Sharia in America" signs. So the main event, the anti-Sharia protest, is significantly larger than the counter-protest. Well, I shouldn't say significantly. It is larger, but might not be by much. So let's go over and let's go see what's going on.
Hey, good to see you here.
How's it going, man? There's a sign across the street reads, "Sharia is diarrhea." So for those that are just tuning in, you can help the channel out by giving a thumbs up, click that like button, it really helps out. You can find me on Twitter at Timcast, Timcast. It's pretty noisy out here. Said one of the Proud Boys with a Blue Lives Matter flag just walked through the counter-protesters. No one seems to really notice or care. So for those that are tuning in, I'm in Los Angeles for some work stuff, so I figured I'd come out and interview some people and talk to some people and figure out what the hell's going on here.
It's a rally against Sharia. That's what it is.
Is that so? So you're here against Sharia?
Yeah, this is what Sharia does. This was me last month in ISIS-controlled territory.
You were there?
That's me, buddy.
So can I ask you some questions?
Yeah, you sure can. Come on over there.
That's what Sharia law looks like.
There you go.
So
That's what it does to Christians and Jews and even other Muslims.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are saying that this isn't actually about religion; it's about racism. What would you say?
Who said that?
That's what they're saying. Not all of them, but
Well, they're kind of false. We're here to show what Sharia law does and to rally against it because it's unconstitutional.
How do you feel about Muslims who aren't doing this kind of thing, right? Do they have a right to practice their religion in this country?
Of course they do. That's what the First Amendment is. The freedom of religion, then encapsulated in that, the freedom of speech. But first, it's freedom of religion if you go back and read it. So they absolutely have a right to practice their religion. The problem is just a tertiary or a small study of Islam immediately will tell you that they're commanded to kill anyone that doesn't believe they do. And that includes their own people. You know, just a few weeks ago in an ice cream parlor in Baghdad, there was 14 people killed in a bombing, 70 people destroyed. Just last week in Iran, ISIS bombed and shot up the parliament. Doesn't make news, but it was ISIS doing it. It was ISIS is a neo-Salafist, Wahhabist death cult. And that's what they promote, regardless of what they say.
So would you say, it sounds like what you're saying is the radicalism is what you're...
Well, exactly radicalism. If you look at the word radical, it means the root. They are following exactly what Muhammad did and said to do.
Right on. Anything else you want to say before I move on?
No.
All right, man, thank you.
Good luck.
It is about a religion here, okay? I'm a Christian and Muslim, and they know it's about a religion, okay? Number one, they're trying to implement the Quran and the Hadith, okay? Because this is part of the Hadith. This is what they believe in. All right? I have found order to fight against the people until they testify that none has right to worship but Allah and that Muhammad is Allah the Prophet. You understand? And if he does not convert, then his kingdom will be destroyed and enslaved. Okay. Well, so does that sound like they're a peace? They're not a peace, man.
Well, there are people who argue that there are things in the Christian Bible as well that are pretty abhorrent.
But we reform the Bible. They won't reform the Quran because it is the absolute word of God. It can't be changed. And this is the law from the word of God. And it can't be changed. It's horrendous. Kill gays, stone adulterers.
That stuff's in the Bible too, though.
The Bible's been reformed. It's changed. The Quran cannot change. I mean, you're a young guy, right?
I guess.
Have you ever had sex?
Yes, I have.
Okay, we can whip you 100 times. Are you married?
Nope.
Oh, you can be whipped 100 times for having sex. It's in the book.
Yeah, all right. Thank you.
No Sharia law. No Sharia law.
All right, well. How's it going? Yeah, nice to meet you. Can I cross here? Yeah, sure, why not? All right, well, oh yeah, I figured out how to tweet from this thing finally. There's a button, you press it, and it shares it. How simple was that? You're on here. Can't read any messages from anybody. So we just heard from two people over there on the anti-Sharia side, and three people actually. And so, you know, at a cursory glance, I would say although the first person I spoke with as he was crossing the street was focused on radical Islam, and there is a sign just in front of me, it says no to radical Islam. There were a couple people who said that under the First Amendment you have a right to practice your religion, absolutely. But they take issue with some of the more extreme tenets of the religion. However, a couple other people told me flat out that the religion itself is extreme. So, seems to be that, you know... You know, so I was pointing out too, one person said that, you know, the Quran says stone the gays and adulterers and things like that. And I pointed out that, you know, the Old Testament, Leviticus, that's shared by the Abrahamic religions. And so that's not unique to one religion. So I think, you know, it is interesting to see the one guy, he had a sign that showed him in, I believe he said it was ISIS-controlled territory, and hear him talk against radicalization and things like that, but support the First Amendment right to freedom of religion and speech. And then to see other people that are kind of, you know, I believe the one guy was Christian and said that, you know, they reformed the Bible and things like that. But, you know, there are a lot of similarities between the Abrahamic religions, no doubt. It's not up for debate. And so it's one thing I do find interesting is when there are, you know, deeply religious, devout, you know, I don't want to say like it's certainly not like the average Christian or Catholic or anything like that, but they certainly, you know, the books certainly share these rules about, you know, stoning gays, it's abomination, things like that. So I see people say that there is a big difference and things like that. But what I will say is one of the arguments made against Islam is that Judaism and Christianity had a first world reformation, is what people refer to it as, meaning that although there are people in the U.S. who do want some religious-based laws, it's significantly lighter compared to the other countries that are seen that practice Sharia, such as Saudi Arabia. You know, where things are particularly violent and bad if you're homosexual or female. And although you might get disgruntled looks or refused service in the United States, and there certainly have been attacks against the LGBT community from people who are considered far-right extremists, it is significantly safer here in the U.S. I mean, I've been around the world, man. I've been to some of these countries. It's pretty crazy. And I think some of the other things that people don't realize about Sharia law is that there's no bacon. And I'm not saying that to be disrespectful or anything. I just literally, you know, it's like an interesting thing that happened when I was in Egypt at the hotel. They don't have pork products. That's a normal thing. And they have casino. You know, at the Hilton in Cairo, they have a casino, but citizens are not allowed legally to enter the casino. So it looks like a bunch of the Trump people are going to start crossing over. Looks like there's a couple people from Identity Europa, which is... So, fight broke out. This guy just cracked out the retractable baton. Let's stay away from him.
Back up, you guys. We have a safe zone. Back it up.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Great Satanist.
So for those that are watching right now, this group right here is split between counter-protesters and the main protest group, which is very complicated, but you have the anti-Sharia group here right in front of me, and then you have the counter-protest group here on the left.
They kill children every day! They rape children every day!
He taught us that.
Fuck you!
He taught us a lie, man. They made the country now. Look at you.
Black gun matters! My M16 matters! My 9mm
meter matters.
Stand up
My
like
government
that.
right matters.
Stand up like that.
We're Muslims, we're under attack. What do we do?
Stand up like that.
We're Muslims, we're under attack. What do we do?
Stand up like that.
So, across the street where I'm looking now, this is the main counter-protest group. But you can see there is some, some people have crossed over. I'm looking right now, there's a guy with the Blue Lives Matter flag on his back, and someone else, and this guy's with a couple other people, and looks like they're having an argument. You can really tell by the American flags which side someone is on. And then over here, the police are trying to keep the groups separated.
Portrayed as anti-Sharia.
Officer here has got his less lethal gun here. So things are definitely getting tense. There certainly are not that many police officers here for the size of the protest.
Specifically on the right, I will say, you're seeing a willingness of the folks who are part of this nationalist movement who went to confront the people who were counter-protesting against and you can see that they are really some horrible signs, including one that reads Muslims throw gays off of buildings, diarrhea on Sharia, rape is not welcome. They rape our daughters, what do we do? We're seeing a lot of men saying, they rape our daughters. It's one of the things we get over and
And counter-protesters.
See that? Tell us a little bit about what the Proud Boys you to stay here, make sure people can express themselves freely, and that's it. No intimidation. We're not intimidated. Okay.
So this is San Bernardino, and there's a very small...
provides a platform for fascism! Tim Pool 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 provides a platform for fascism!
Get your ass out of here.
I don't know you. I don't know who that guy is. Somebody lost their hat. I should keep...
I command you in the name of the people of the state of California to disperse. If you fail to disperse, you will be subject to arrest for unlawful assembly and failure to disperse.
Fuck you, traitor pussies! Fuck shit! Fuck communism! Fuck can't even stand up for your families! Go away! Can't even stand up to Sharia! Go away! Pussies! Temple provides a platform for fascists! Temple provides a platform for fascists! Temple provides a platform for fascists! Tim Pool provides a platform for fucking fascists, and he's a fucking fascist.
I'm giving you a platform right now.
You are.
I give a platform to everybody.
Thanks for the whole world. Tim Pool is providing a platform for fascism,
including yourself,
under the guise of unbiased journalism.
I'm giving you a platform too.
Because people want to fucking dox me, you dumb fuck.
I'm giving you a platform. Do you think that violence is a good countermeasure for...
Hey, what? Don't touch him. What? Tim Pool's hat! Tim Pool's hat!
Don't touch.
I didn't touch him. Tim Pool? Oh, you want to see the footage, buddy?
Form a line and start moving them across the street.
Tim Pool provides a platform for fascists.
That wasn't me. I didn't just reach in his hat. That wasn't me.
Good luck. Are you gonna put me on trial?
Hey, whoa. Hey,
what?
Hey, buddy. You're gonna physically assault and batter me. You're not gonna put your fist up for somebody else.
I didn't touch you.
Yes, you did. I have it on camera. You touched me? You touched me and I have it on camera. All right? I have it on camera. All right? So the police have just split the two groups back. Earlier we saw a group from the anti-Sharia side march over to this side, and now the police are basically blocking this whole area off. I was actually just physically assaulted and battered by one of the Antifa guys twice. And then he denied it. Light battery. I don't want to make it sound like it's crazy, but he basically just reached at me and I had to block his arm twice. Trying to steal my hat. You know, that's the meme. By far the most interesting thing so far. He found something, huh? Let's ignore what's going on outside this dog for a moment and figure out what has he found. There's something down there. What is it? Nothing there, huh? He gave up? False alarm, guys. False alarm, everybody. They're chanting, "You are not normal" at the counter protest.
That's it. What's your age, sir? 42.
Hey, dude.
What group are you with? Is there a group here with you? ICIJ? ICIJ? And what does that stand for? Immigrant Coalition for Immigrant Justice.
Are you with the counter protest group?
Yeah.
Can I interview you?
Oh, man.
No good? Alright, it's cool, man. Thanks, though. So this side of the street's been mostly cleared out. I gotta say, after getting physically attacked, it kind of makes it hard to go to the other side, huh?
Okay, how are you trying to help? I'm listening. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm part of press. Okay, so let me start with you. Or where's that young guy I was talking to?
You're not with the press.
I'm allowed to be here. It's First Amendment. Hey, how you doing? What's your name? Nice to meet you. Tolerance for religion?
Tolerance for you too.
Oh, thank you. Okay, you're just saying hi. Okay, that's good. So do you support Sharia law? You don't support Sharia? You're here. Are you joining with their protest or?
Mostly trying to keep order. I've got
Okay.
friends and sympathy on both sides.
Okay, that's fine.
I just have a
I'm in
question.
favor of tolerance, but I
Let him finish.
Sharia.
That's fine. You know, there are Muslims who voted for Trump, for example. Some people seem to have a problem with it. I spoke to one Muslim from the Philippines, and he doesn't want Sharia imposed in this country. His words. Go ahead.
Nobody wants Sharia in this country.
You don't want Sharia.
We
That's
have a
fine.
constitution that won't allow it.
Okay.
People got to stop being stupid
Okay.
and saying, "Oh, Sharia law is coming." No, it's not.
Well, here's the thing. 100 courts opened up in the UK, so we have to be vigilant.
Yeah, yeah.
So you agree? I don't think you're an anchor baby. You're an adult
And the thing is
citizen.
this: what Christians have to realize
Okay.
is that Christianity is a Middle Eastern religion.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Where the hell was Jesus born? In Jerusalem.
When you're saying
It's a
Middle Eastern, okay,
it's a Middle Eastern
you're talking about the
religion.
Jewish. Okay, in that respect, that's fine.
Judaism, Christianity,
That's fine.
and Islam all came from the same
What's your
spot.
point, though?
That you guys are fighting. You're talking about Islam, Middle East. Guess what? Christianity is from the Middle East.
So what? That doesn't make a difference. The issue is that Islam
doesn't matter. No,
teaches that women are less than men. It teaches it's okay to kill
have you read the
infidels.
fucking
It
Bible?
teaches- Yes, I have.
They teach that women are less than men.
Where does it teach that?
Everywhere.
Give me a verse.
Oh my God.
It doesn't.
Everywhere.
Read Ephesians
A
chapter
woman
5.
must submit to
Women
her,
and men.
to her husband.
That doesn't mean she's less than.
Oh my.
No, it
what
doesn't.
the fuck does it mean
It
then?
means adapt.
Oh,
Yes, it
adapt?
does.
Look, submit does not mean adapt.
You're right. Yes, it does. Look at the Greek word. It was written in Greek. Yes.
God, you guys are ignorant ass fuckers, I swear.
I'm not ignorant. I
No,
answered your
you are
question.
ignorant.
Why am I ignorant?
If you say that submission
Why am I ignorant?
doesn't mean,
Why am I ignorant?
because you're saying that submission does not mean fucking to lessen.
Okay, just because we disagree doesn't make me ignorant.
Well,
Just
yes, it
because
does.
we don't agree doesn't make
Well,
you
that's what
ignorant.
the fucking hat does.
Okay, well, we were talking about the Bible, now you're talking about a hat. So stay on topic. Read Ephesians,
Look,
read
good people
Colossians.
like you.
Men and women are treated with equal value. But when it comes to a family, there's leadership. Let me tell you. Let me finish. Just let me finish, okay? So here's the deal. So here's the deal. You got in the Bible, men are given leadership, women are given treasureship. They're given the life to live. That's right.
Yes.
Where's the patriarchy?
I'll tell you what,
about?
you want the right to live, stop telling white people to stop killing so many fucking Americans.
More deaths are black on black. Yes. Go ahead. I'm talking about patriarchy. What is it?
There's inherent structure in the family, in families. You think that the men should have overarching power over everybody else in the family?
Okay, you're making it sound like it's a dictatorship. It's not. The way you're framing it is wrong. So just listen. Just let me answer. And you're making it really. It's very simple. So just listen. You go to Ephesians 5. Husbands, love your wife. You don't want to listen. Why is it bullshit? It's not mine.
I don't give a shit
didn't write the
about
Bible.
religion. I don't give a shit about religion.
It's not about religion. It's about a text. Would you let me finish or
I
not?
don't care about the text.
If it's not about religion, why are you talking about Sharia law then?
You're willing to talk.
Patriarchy.
No, I didn't. I didn't say that word. You did.
I did say that word.
You're making it about religion with your Sharia bullshit.
Okay,
You don't
which
know what
one?
the fuck you're talking. Fucking having men rule a family. That's patriarchy.
I didn't say rule. I said lead.
It's the same fucking idea.
No, it's not.
Come on.
It's the same fucking
No, it
idea.
isn't.
And then you say you're not ignorant?
Go to a dictionary. Go to the Greek. Thanks. Anybody else?
Go to a dictionary and look
And I
up
want you to
ignorant.
notice something too. I don't call you names. I don't shout at you. I don't
give a
curse at
shit,
you.
dude. You're still a
Why?
fucking bigot. You're fucking
Why am I a bigot?
Look at you.
Hold on for a second. Why am I a bigot? Why?
Look at the side that you're supporting. You support a white
at that
supremacist
shit.
fascist, bro.
There are people who are Hispanic, black, and
I don't
Asian.
give a shit.
And
everybody over
next,
here on your side.
come on,
Go
use
back
your eyes. Stop being
Because they're
full of hate.
colors and support Trump doesn't mean that he's a white supremacist fucking bigot.
Why is he a white
My
supremacist?
perspective is fuck
It
you.
doesn't mean that Stephen Bannon isn't in the fucking
Why
white.
is he a white
Have you
supremacist?
seen his films, dude? He's a white Christian nationalist.
I am
He's a
talking
fucking white
about
supremacist,
Donald
you know?
Trump.
Yeah, and he's
Donald
the fucking Trump's
Trump.
advisor. Like,
Okay,
you don't
so
know
he's a
what
white
you're talking
supremacist
about.
because of Bannon?
Yeah, dude.
Okay, what about
Dude,
Bannon?
look at
What
all
do you have
the
a problem
white
with him?
fucking- Look at all the killings that are taking place across the country. White men are killing people.
Bannon is killing people.
I didn't fucking say that. I said white men are killing people in this country. White
Okay,
men are the biggest.
I just told him as I'm telling you, the largest rate of homicides is black on black. Don't you care about that? I care about that. I'm white and I care about black lives. Do you?
Poverty.
So that doesn't make me a white supremacist now, does
The
it?
United States exists is founded upon.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is, dude.
Give me an example.
You don't think the history of slavery plays a role in all of this? You
And
don't
who helped free the slaves? 600,000 white men died on fields of battle to end slavery. Thank you very much. Next.
So you're taking credit for the abolition of slavery?
I didn't. I wasn't alive then. Next.
Abolitionists
During that
can
time,
take credit
every
for white
country had slavery. It was just
That's
like
not true.
reinventing.
Yes, it is
That's
true.
actually not true.
So
You don't know
every
that?
country has slavery, that makes it okay?
What the volunteers? Come on, guys.
I know that.
So you're saying that every country had slavery, therefore it was okay?
No, never.
No, no,
You're
it's not
saying
okay.
that. We will
It's not
never
okay. That's
agree
why
to
we
that.
No, he just
Slavery is evil.
No.
And we had
I'm saying
people
we
of
didn't
European
invent
descent
it.
fight against it.
What do you think about prison labor?
Prison labor.
Yeah.
If you commit a crime, you do the time. And if that includes labor, so be it.
And
Don't
what do
commit
you-
crimes.
What do you think about not getting paid for labor and prisoners not getting paid?
Okay, prisoners do get paid. Next.
35 cents on the
You know
dollar.
what? They break the law, there's a price to pay. That's the way it is.
That's
Next.
slavery.
No, we don't get paid
That
in
No,
is
it isn't. They
slavery.
broke the law, they forfeit their liberty.
Producing
It's
labor.
Next.
also voluntary.
I answered that.
I've
Next.
been to jail.
I'm not
I've been to
fucking
jail.
Next.
They don't make them work.
Next.
It's voluntary. You either want a job or you don't want a job.
So
You
the
can sit
labor,
on your ass.
that prisoners are performing is not slave labor.
In this
They're not
country,
getting paid.
in this country, I won't even
You're
listen.
fucking
I go-
apologizing
listen
for
to
slavery.
No.
And you're
It's
an
voluntary.
apologist for
If
slave
you're
labor.
in jail, you're being punished. Okay?
Yeah, and what
They're
about
not
the
going to give you
inherent
minimum
clause?
wage.
What about the inherent clause in the criminal justice system which disproportionately incarcerates people of color?
I was a victim of
What about that?
If,
Can you answer that question?
I'll answer this question here. If 90% of the people that are committing the crimes happen to be black, right? Let's just not argue. I'm not saying that's true. I'm just saying that
Yes or no?
that was a situation. If the
think
vast
it's
majority of
okay
people
to
that are
suppress
committing
society?
any particular crime happen to be
You
black,
can't
right?
decontextualize the forces
No,
that
if that was true, right? And the police go out and arrest criminals.
That's not true, though.
So you don't believe that's true?
I don't.
You don't think in the city of Chicago,
What do you think
where
about-
black people are killing black people, that most of the crime is committed by black people?
What the fuck is your point?
That's because most of
The point
Chicago
is you're
is.
saying,
There's this thing
you're
called
saying
poverty that forces
you're trying to
people
make
into
a
certain
situation like
social
only
situations.
white people are creating crime.
I'm not saying that.
All colors. It's not a color thing.
I'm saying that it's a social issue. I'm saying that there are forces that create problems.
I came over to talk. There was a young man I wasn't able to finish.
I agree with you. I agree with you 100% in that case.
I did not hit anybody. That's
social, economic issue.
Yeah, that's central.
It's not about color at all. Well, it's about the situation.
Race plays a role in literally
everything
everything in America. You can't decontextualize crime
How do
and
we
the
fix
human
that?
race.
How do we fix that?
How do we fix that?
We can't fix that. Listen, we can't fix that by having people come over here and try and change it.
See, that's what you're wrong. You're not addressing the root problems of the issues that exist in our society. You're saying, hey, the root problems are
It's the police's fault.
I didn't say that. I said I think the police enforce and preserve and protect the capitalist class. And
You're
they serve
saying they
capital over
arrest
people.
more black people.
Yeah, the incarceration rate for people of color is much higher than white people.
But what if the crime rate is happening?
What do you want to do about it?
What's contributing to the crime rate?
But
And I'm saying that it's
right.
yeah, I'm saying that's
There's also
socio-political
poor white people.
I know, and poor white people. Poor white people don't have any skills.
And you're gonna talk about black on black crime
Because it's true.
These are different
white
social
on
conditions
everybody
that are
else's
forcing
crime.
that are
Where
playing
are
a role
most
in
of
the
the
crime that
murders happening? Where are most of the murders happening?
So there is an issue. What is my reason? My
Because
theory?
Antifa believes
No, not true.
you're Antifa. Not gonna
Not true.
I'm an anti-fascist. I don't believe in fascism. Are you an anti-fascist?
Show me that.
Do you believe in fascism?
No, it's not.
Matter of fact, I think that the behavior that you guys showed up Berkeley, you guys were sexual fascists.
Well, for those that are watching, there's not a whole lot else going on right now. Just one counter protest over there, the main event over here. And this guy brought up white people killing others, so I wanted to get a question in as soon as he wrapped up.
Okay, but they didn't use the power of their speech. They
I'm ready.
But there was a success in shutting islands.
They're alternative facts.
Right. We're going to ensure it doesn't happen, and we need
Hey, dude, you mentioned that white people were killing in this country, or all over North America.
Yeah, crime exists.
Would you put Eric Clanton in a similar bracket as those people? He was also Eric Clanton is the white guy in Berkeley who struck 7 people over the head with a bike lock, someone affiliated with Antifa.
Yeah, I don't support that. Like, I think that people like I support people like Richard Spencer getting punched in the face. I think people who are actually like playing a key role in like reporting white supremacist ideology should be silenced. Okay, and it's not an issue of like there's the whole liberal doctrine of like, oh, nonviolence is like, preferable, but like that point of view kind of fails to take into consideration the issue of power relations in society and like how like shutting down fascists, somebody who believes that like people of color, immigrants, Muslims don't have a right to exist. That's different than holding those beliefs. Shutting those beliefs down is different from actually holding those beliefs.
Would you agree with
those people?
Would you agree with throwing explosives into a crowd of that crowd across the street?
Well, here's the thing. I've seen police throw explosives into crowds of protesters.
So you agree with the police throwing?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Do you disagree with
I don't
throwing
support throwing explosives into that crowd of protesters. They have every right to be here. I think they're fucking stupid. I think they're bigoted and racist.
But you're aligned with the group that was attacking innocent bystanders.
See, the thing about Antifa is that it's not a centralized group. I'm a person. I'm an individual, autonomous human being. And I came here on my own accord. I came here based on my own political beliefs and things that are pushing me to be here. So some people might agree that, yeah, let's throw stun grenades into a crowd, but that's not actually what most people believe. That's not what most anarchists believe. Most anarchists, if people on that side would be willing to engage in a class-conscious analysis of our society and issues that are, creating problems for them, if they're economically disparaged and they're unhappy with the society, if they're getting gouged on rent, they're comrades. Okay, we need to really come together and focus our attention on what's really the issue, and that's the capitalist class.
So when there's like a post on a forum or like say Portland or Berkeley where there's a call specifically for Antifa to show up and counter protest, you would come to something like that, like we are now.
If I could.
So that group in Berkeley, that although it is not a centralized group, has thrown explosives at innocent bystanders, has bashed people over the skull, and you are aligned with that group.
I'm not aligned with any group. I'm myself.
You said you were an anti-fascist.
I am an anti-fascist. Sorry, not anti-fascist.
I think everyone here opposes
fascism.
fascism.
So everybody here should be an anti-fascist.
Right, yeah.
But like, see, what these people don't recognize about what is taking place in our society is that fascism doesn't happen overnight. It's a process. You know, we look back on what happened in Germany and also in Spain, and it's this whole process, and it can be legally built in the framework of our governmental society and our electoral system. And that's what me and a lot of anti-fascists and anarchists and just general people fear right now. It's because, like, when you look at what's happening across the country, when trans women of color are being murdered, when people who support Muslims are being murdered across the country by white nationalists. You know, like two people in Portland were just murdered by white nationalists like a few weeks ago. But those are signs of the rise of fascism in our society.
Well, you know, that guy in Portland is much more complicated than that. He wasn't just a white nationalist. Well, he claimed to be an anti-racist.
But that doesn't. What he claims is irrelevant from what his actions actually are.
Well, he was attacking a religion, not racists.
Well,
he actually posted that he wanted to kill monotheists.
Okay, well that's fucked up. Like I don't support
agree,
that
yeah,
either.
absolutely.
But the fact is, he targeted two black women who aren't. I don't believe that they were Muslim, but they were black, and he thought that they were Muslim.
Well, they were wearing hijabs.
Okay, so then they probably
and he
are
said,
Muslim faith.
he was saying things like, take the hijab off, go back to Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, and that's super fucked up, and that guy's a white nationalist if he thinks that. Like, just because it's a religious...
Anti-religion and white nationalism are different things.
I think that if you look at what's happening in our society today, if you look at these people who are here, like the sign that says refugees, like what the fuck?
It certainly overlaps. But
yeah, no, it's inextricably combined. You can't say that the religious aspect of that murder, those murders, are not connected to race. He didn't target those women because he thought they were Muslim. He targeted them because they were women of color.
They were wearing hijabs, and he said, take the hijab off.
Yeah.
How is that targeting their race?
Because they're black. You can't remove race from this kind of equation. You can't separate race from an equation of a white man attacking verbally two black women who are also wearing hijabs. So it could be an intersection of racism and religious hatred, bigotry, or maybe he is an anti-racist and he's explicitly just against religion.
Claimed he was. Doesn't mean it's true, but he
regardless. That's still incredibly fucked up, and like the Muslim faith is like you know, there are a ton of races, and typically I know some white Muslims, but typically Muslims are people of color. So if you're saying that,
what does people of color mean to you?
People who are not of white European Christian. So like you can't separate the two. Like you can't say that murder didn't happen because you can't say that race was not a factor.
Well, how do you feel about a disproportionate amount, the overwhelming majority of terror attacks that happen in the world are jihadis, but they are attacking other Muslims.
What about the vast majority of terrorist attacks that are happening in the United States?
So since the start of 2017, there has been 4 notable U.S. terror attacks. One was an Islamic jihadi who murdered someone in Denver, and 3 were considered white terrorism.
Yeah, and a lot of attacks haven't been considered acts of terror.
Terror is typically considered a non-state
let's expand our conception of what is atrocious and violence to hate crimes as well. And there are dozens and dozens, if not hundreds, of hate crimes happening across the country directed at people of color, Muslims, and immigrants.
But there's a challenge then. You know, when you look at a group like that and say that they're white supremacists or white nationalists and they're combined, and over there you've got people who are white, who are Latino, who are black, who are Asian, they're not going to see that the same way you do. You know, honestly, what's fascinating to me is I would assume that you would not want Sharia law in the U.S. And neither would they. So I think the interesting thing is both sides are anti-fascist, both sides oppose Sharia, but it looks like you're both protesting each other for different reasons.
Well, yeah, because things are more complex than that. Like, you can say that we're both anti-fascism, but like people on this side, and like people who identify as Antifa or anarchists, would say that, you know, they're on the fascistic end of the spectrum. Obviously, not all of them. Some of them are blindly following, you know, just what they're spoon-fed in form of media and so there are differences based on like in beliefs. So like, yeah, we might oppose, like I'm an anarchist. I don't believe in religious supremacy. I think that, you know, everybody should have a freedom to practice their own religion as long as that religion doesn't hurt anybody else.
I think that's what they're saying over there too.
But what they're doing is saying that all Muslims are all refugees, X, Y, Z. You know.
I would say, you know, I went over there and 3 people told me that wasn't the case, and 2 people told me it was. 2 people said that Muslim is inherently bad. 3 people told me that no, you should be able to practice a religion so long as you're not radical.
But the thing about that is that you found 2 people over there who think Muslims all over across the books are bad. I don't think you'll find a single person out here who believes that. That's a difference. Who thinks that Islam is inherently a terrible religion? I don't think you'll find anybody out here who believes
on this side. No. Would you agree with physically attacking somebody for just unprovoked?
If it's people like Richard Spencer, yeah.
What about me?
I don't know you.
Some guy just from over there just attacked me. Well, physically attacked me. I don't even. He just started screaming my name, and then he attacked me twice.
Well, if he knows your name, who are you?
Yeah, I'm Tim Pool.
All right.
I do live streams. I make YouTube videos.
Okay.
So he knew who he was, so he decided to attack me for that.
All right. Well, so would you say that you come from the Trump side of things, or are you more of the alt-right?
I'm just not on your side.
What side are you on?
Nobody's.
Well, because that's kind of stupid.
No, because you're sitting here saying Sharia is bad, and so are they, and I'm like, okay. They're over there saying fascism is bad, and so are you, and I'm like, okay. Yeah. But you guys are fighting for some reason.
Yeah, we're fighting because they're like look at they're assuming that all Muslims practice female genital mutilation on their children. That's not true.
I don't think that they believe all, but there certainly have been a lot of cases.
They said no. There's a sign that says something like no Muslims, no FGM, like no cutting little girls.
Right,
they're equating the two.
What you have to realize is that's not an organized group. That's a loose affiliation of people who came together on social media, just like you're not affiliated with Eric Clanton. You know, just like Eric Clanton took a bike lock over 7 people's heads. You don't agree with that. I'm sure not everyone agrees with everything people are saying over there. So we have our two groups of people who are not part of a centralized group. I mean, look, there's Identity Europe on the front of that.
Yeah,
they are white nationalists.
No, yeah, fuck those people.
But
they're fascists.
the rest of the people over there aren't going to agree with them. And so the issue is, you could probably.
I'm gonna go, but it was nice talking to you.
Yeah, likewise. Take care. All right, let's cross over here. We had a long discussion there with, oh, nope, missed it. Uh-oh. And the clash is starting again. Long talk with anarchists, anti-fascists, police whipping out their retractable batons. Got some mounted officers coming up. Over here. So I need to shoot an interview because I'm going to make a recap on this tomorrow with some thoughts that I have, not just about this. The video I'm playing tomorrow has to do with a lot of things that's going on with the left and a lot of the attacks that I've seen with my friends and people who are involved in politics. But I gotta say, I really do, that there are 3 bubbles to consider. And I said this in one of my last videos. You've got the left-wing bubble straight ahead, you've got the right-wing bubble over there, and then you've got the greater political bubble. Right, when you realize that these groups are only a couple hundred people each, they're not very large relative to Los Angeles. I mean, we're in San Bernardino, we're about 60 miles out of LA, maybe a little bit less. And this is a huge, huge place with, 10 or 13 million people, and we see only a couple hundred. So, the reality is, there is a political bubble that most people are in. And it's just not that crazy. Hardcore centrism. Yeah, so the Antifa guy said that I was stupid for not being on anyone's side, but the reality is, I have this guy from Antifa saying that he would not want Sharia in this country, and okay, so you agree with the protest, and he says, but they're fascist, and I'm like, they call you fascist, both sides call each other fascist, both sides, it's just, both sides calling each other the same thing, but the reality is, people on the right oppose fascism just as much as the people on the left, and both sides would not agree with a religious doctrine being the law of the land. Yet, because of politics, it's more about winning. Winning! Cut off your nose to spite your face because you want to win the political fight. So, I will say, this is where the right wins the brownie points. I was just physically attacked by one of the guys on the counter protest, and the people on the right have never attacked me. So what am I supposed to do? I think ultimately, you know, we see Trump win. We see this this press that's really just. I mean, look. This is a video I did the other day. Seriously, 2 scoops of ice cream. There are stories, dozens. Donald Trump doesn't tweet. Really? They did a story about Trump not doing anything. Like literally, they wrote a story. Trump did nothing. Oh, okay. Why are you telling me this? I don't care. But you know, for whatever reason, I think it's hard to call. Will Trump win in 2020? I don't know. What I can say is, when I walk over to this anti-side, you know, one of the guys over here, actually it was over here, not over there, but one of the guys over there physically attacks me and screams in my face. Because I give a platform to Nazis, he says. And as I corrected him, I gave a platform to you too, and he laughed and said yes, and then he tried to physically attack me. So when you see something like that, you know, I quoted a tweet from Lacey Green earlier. She said, the left doesn't realize that when they call centrists Nazis and KKK, they're empowering those groups. And I added to that, and they push moderates and centrists to the right. What do you think the average person who's a centrist or a moderate is going to think when there's a rally and one side is violent, throwing explosives, bashing people over the head, physically attacking reporters, and the other side's not doing any of that? The average person's going to be scared of the violence and the extremism. And that's why I think there is a probability that the right will continue to gain ground. But it's hard to say specifically. You know, I'm not psychic, so I will say it's pretty interesting as to why the groups chose the intersection to protest. I don't know. So you know what? I have a buddy. He's a very, very left-wing dude. And it's weird because a lot of the people who are affiliated with his group and with his friends just send me threats and attack me all the time. But this guy is cool, and I respect his opinion. He's far left, but what he told me is the reason you see this, the events like this, the reason you see vandalism, it's not because they actually think they're changing anything. It's that people want the emotional satisfaction of attacking symbols of what they feel causes them strife. And I said, that's about right. Why is it that this side on the left, who I'm sure most of them, actually we heard from them, they would not want Sharia law, is counter-protesting another group that's flat out saying no to Sharia law? Because the reality is, to the left, they hate fascism and Nazis, so this group must embody that to become a symbol. This group is a symbol of what they feel causes them strife, so they will attack it. And the same can be said in the other direction. The reality is, you know, this guy who was across the street climbing this gas station sign to get a photo, the Antifa guy, anarchist I was talking to, if he took that mask off and was wearing regular clothes, in fact, if he just took the mask off, he could wear black, that's fine, and he walked over there and had a real conversation, there'd probably be some arguments back and forth for sure. But for the most part, even when he was talking with one of the Trump supporters over here, they agreed on some things. I think too many people are lost and not paying attention. They're not, you know, I'm across the street looking at both groups, trying to figure out what the hell's going on. But everyone else is just within their little bubble. Needless to say, I'm in the political bubble too. And that's why I purposely went out of that bubble the other day and hung out with some skateboarders. So look, I play video games, play Hearthstone, I go skateboarding. In LA, I've been working. I just shot a video with my buddy the other day, skate video, doing one of my signature tricks, and we're both laughing at how it's crazy. You know, a buddy of mine, he's a really well-known skate video producer, apolitical, and he was telling me how we've known each other for over 10 years, man. Geez, maybe like 15 years at this point. And he was surprised that anybody on my Facebook would be accusing me of being right-wing or like a Nazi or anything like that. Because he's like, man, Tim, you're like the guy who just doesn't really care one way or another. It's so crazy that people would make assumptions about who you are. And it's because you have to become a symbol of what they hate. So the main reason I'm standing here The group on the right has tried to cross over to the group on the left. The police have formed a line and blocked it off. So should anything of that sort happen again, I want to be able to film when it happens. And you know what I will say, like I tweeted out, this guy tried grabbing. No, he actually did grab me. I blocked his arm and pulled back, and then he did it again. These people on the left tend to be significantly more extreme than the people on the right. The people on the right, you see like Identity Europa, there are some people who have what's considered to be extreme opinions, and the people on the left are considered to be physically more extreme. You know, we know the black bloc, anarchists, communists, whatever you want to call them, they go around smashing things up all the time. But, so, where I'm at right now, this is kind of a dry corner. This was a counter-protest site. Now it is just, the police have cleared it out, and we've got the two groups straight across the street. So, look, seeing as I was physically attacked by some guy on the counter-protest side, I want to be close enough to where if they do start crossing again, I can film it, but I also don't want to walk into, you know, the side that's actually physically attacked me. Actually has physically attacked me. You know, there are people saying to go over there. I'll let you know. Like, I could go over there and the stream could shut down. Like, if the guy, you know, reaches for me and I get into a fight, that there's no more live stream anymore. So I have to be pragmatic and decide, avoid the risk, keep streaming and doing my thing, avoid people who are trying to attack me. Otherwise, I'm just walking into a situation with crazy people. So I'll cross over. Let's go talk to some the anti-Sharia people. So we got mounted officers over on the counter-protest side. We've got a bunch of signs here. How's it going, man? No Sharia law, no female genital mutilation. Just say no to Sharia law. And then we'll cross over here to the other side. Yeah, so the guy who attacked me, he attacked me in clear view of the police, and everybody just looked at the cop like, "Come on, man, what are you doing?" And the cops, they didn't care. I forgot my iPhone case, so I can't clip my phone, and it kind of sucks. But I need to get some shots for a video I'm gonna do tomorrow, more about the division and less about this event in particular, but the stuff that's happening here is certainly important for the context. You know, so basically, you know, I have some friends who are just being demonized simply because they want to have conversations. Like these are people who are not even conservative, who are being called white supremacists, Nazis, etc. Luke got piss thrown on him? Wow. Luke's like one of those weird, he doesn't even fit any political alignment. He's like a weird anti-authoritarian, crystal-wearing, hippie libertarian. I don't even know how to describe Luke. I've had people try and ask me, what is Luke? Is he right or left? And I'm like, I don't know. He's like a crystal-wearing, hippie libertarian who goes to Burning Man. He's a burner. He doesn't fit. He's criticized Trump a lot. He's criticized Hillary, everybody. He's just... Lauren? Oh, you see, that's what it is. You know, he's been hanging out with Lauren. You know, I was gonna fly back to New York. Now I'm kind of glad I didn't, because I probably would have got piss thrown on me too, I guess. Because I'm friends with Luke and Lauren. No, I think Tuesday I'm gonna fly to Korea. I think I'm gonna fly to Korea. talk with some expats and locals about the current state of what's going on there. Woo! Head rush. I should not stand up so quickly. I'm dehydrated. So you know it's poor connection. Oh, I just saw it 35 minutes ago.
I know. We should go over there.
Luke Radowski, Lauren Southern just had, me and Lauren Southern just had piss and something else known as the counter rally to the anti-Sharia march. That's almost biological terrorism. Well, streaming for about an hour now to make my way around this side. How's it going, dude?
Hell yeah!
Got mounted officers over on that side. You know what we tend to see? Oh.
Just want to let you know that Pat Washington, formerly known as Bates Spartan, the guy with the helmet that was bleeding to Berkeley, he's on the other side protesting with them.
Wait, Bates Spartan is over there protesting with them?
What? Calling us Nazis.
As a joke?
No, for real.
What?
Yeah, there was a whole bunch of stuff that went down on Facebook.
Oh, and so now he's on their side?
Right.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah.
So for those that are just tuning in, you can find me on Twitter at Timcast, Timcast. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. New videos every day. I'm not going to have a video up today at 4 p.m. because this live stream is consuming the day. So usually when I do something live, I won't have a video. I have done it in the past. I did this interview with Baked Alaska, and you know the main issue is that when I upload a video and schedule it while I'm live streaming, it's just really hard for people to find, and it ends up just kind of falling off through the cracks. So I've got a video planned for tomorrow, and I'm going to talk about these issues of like political division and things like that. Oh, Baked Alaska's here.
Real news right here, Tim. We should be over there.
What's going on, man? How's it going?
What's up?
Not much? How's it going?
Someone assaulted you earlier.
Yeah, one of the Antifa guys, he went like, and I blocked his arm and then he swung at me again.
That's fucked.
Yeah, he was screaming my name. Oh, they're all moving.
They're all moving?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. Hey, Tim.
You know, I'm worried when people bring dogs and stuff like this, because the dogs are going to protect their owner, right? And it could just cause problems for the dog. How's it going, man?
Good work, man. I love your stuff.
Appreciate it. Got a German Shepherd. Sniffing. You know, if something crazy breaks out and that dog jumps on somebody or bites somebody.
Portland or here?
I mean,
New York. I saw you in New York port. I've been to all three. Which one would you say is the worst?
Well, New York's always boring, but I guess Luke and Lauren just got urine and crap thrown on them.
In New York?
Yeah. And
cops do their job. You saw how they let us fight over here?
Well, yeah, I got attacked by one of the Antifa guys. He grabbed me twice, and the cops didn't do anything about it.
Yeah, they let us scuffle it out for a while, then they come with the sticks and
yeah.
There's not, us like we're the enemies.
Well, it's not that. I mean, this side crossed over to that side, you know. So if you're gonna go over there, it's you're starting it, but
I was talking over this when it happened.
But there's not enough police to do anything. If these groups ran to the middle of the street right now, it'd be a brawl. There's no cops here.
For the first time, you have to. We're outnumbering them, right?
Yeah. Yeah, the counter-protest side's definitely smaller than the anti-Sharia side.
You know why? Because they need a car to get over here. In New York, they could take the bus.
Well, I'm sure a lot of people who live out here are probably more conservative than people who live in the cities. It took me an hour to drive out here. I was in LA.
Yeah, we had to stay safe.
4 more years.
So for those just tuning in, this is San Bernardino. It's about 50 or 60 miles outside of Los Angeles. So it looks like they're going to march. I guess we'll see what happens. Something's happening over there with the police. Oh, there's Trump supporters coming over to the other side.
That's where they're all going.
Yep. Yes, people saying I was brutally attacked. A vicious Antifa man nearly took my life by reaching for my hat. He actually grabbed my head. He had his hand on my head. And then I pushed him off. And then he charged at me again, and once again he actually had his hand on my head and was trying to pull my hat off. That's the meme, right? Trying to pull my hat off. It's not like he was trying to punch me in the face, but I would consider it an attack simply because he charged at me. Yeah.
We won't be intimidated. Muslims will be liberated. We won't be intimidated.
So when it comes to commerce, both sides seem to have very little troubles. Right now, some Trump supporters, some of the anti-Sharia protesters are shopping here at this food mart, and the counter-protesters are kind of just watching. This poor Shell employee trying to keep the peace.
This is the gentleman who got hit by the Pepsi can. Officer Laura. Yeah, from this side when they
How's it
were
going, man?
marching over.
On what?
On Trojan Man.
I can't hear you. What you said?
The guy who was a pro-Trump guy this whole time, and then he couldn't get his GoFundMe funded.
So he joined Base Spartan, right?
Yeah, base Trojan Man, base cockback.
That's what I heard. Oh, look at this. Oh, the police here have their batons out inside the Shell. No, just regular Tim Pool.
We're getting mail.
They're buying milk.
I'm gonna follow you all the time.
Oh, thanks. Appreciate
Not our guy.
I am on your side.
it. So in order to buy provisions, the anti-Sharia protesters have to cross the counter-protest. See, that's what I was saying about the dogs. Things get all rowdy and the dogs get all angry. It's not the dog's fault. You see, this horse doesn't like the sewer. I'm mostly more interested in the horses and the dogs. You see this horse here taking issue with this sewer cap. Well, someone said the man cover is racist, but it's a police officer's horse, so I don't think the horses are taking a stance. The horse is simply just trying to keep the peace, I guess. Depends on what side you're on, I suppose. Counter-protesters certainly wouldn't think that, I guess. So aside from manholes are sexist. Okay, just so you guys know, because people are quoting, like I read your comments sometimes, things that I think are like silly or funny, and people have actually taken that as like a direct quote from me, which is just absolutely ridiculous. Oh, the mounted officers here have formed a line protecting the food mart because you've got some of the anti-Sharia protesters inside, but just to our left is the counter-protest. So now I'm being told by a bunch of the people on the anti-Sharia side that the man known as Based Spartan has defected and joined the counter-protest. I really wish I almost forgot my wallet too. Jeez. Because I woke up and I was going about my business, and I've got this video I'm going to work on about the division between the left and the right, and some of the attacks that I've seen from, it's mostly the social pressures and attacks come from the left, calling people racist, Nazis simply for disagreeing with them and things like that. So I'm going to explore some of these issues. But I was working on that, and then I saw that San Bernardino was heating up, and I figured I would need to get here. The event was supposed to start at 10. Right now, it is just about 11:10. Oh, I see that I got the clock here on my. Usually I don't have the time on the YouTube live stream. Someone's saying right now on the counter-protest side not to have conversations with people. Wow, that's honestly terrifying.
We have volunteers who can take you to a safe location. They will identify themselves as needed. Do not identify yourself or volunteers to people you don't personally know. We recommend covering your face to avoid your image being distributed among hate group networks. Try to leave altogether. If you have to leave the main group, take several people with you. Check your car for damage before you leave and start driving. If tear gas is used, do not treat with water, Maalox, or Coke. Do not engage. Remember, we are here to protect one another. Our community is under attack, but we must stand together more than ever. Here's a phone number for the LA National Lawyers Guild hotline. Write this phone number down on your body. 310-313-3700. 310-313-3700. 310-313-3700. This is the LA National Lawyers Guild hotline. Write this on your body. All right, everyone. Stay safe. If they approach us, close in tightly, lock arms, and do not let them intimidate you.
So we can see one of the guys in front of us is with RevCom. They're the Revolutionary Communist Party. And you typically see them at any kind of progressive or left-wing protest. You'll see RevCom. So it looks like right now, you've got RevCom here, which is not surprising. I think the scariest thing I have ever heard, I just heard right now, when this woman repeatedly said, "Do not engage in conversations with these people." That's scary. The reason it's scary that a large group of people wearing masks and sunglasses who are protecting their identities are refusing and telling people not to engage in conversation but to chant loudly is that it is a cult building technique. I am not being hyperbolic in any way. One of the methods of cult building is to make people feel like they're part of a community but deny them the opportunity to talk to other people and actually tell them in unison to chant down anybody who would disagree with you. That prevents someone from learning or experiencing a different perspective. That is how you ingrain into someone an ideology, you indoctrinate them into not... Whoa, giant beetle. Oh, holy... So one of the things that I've seen at some of the far left protests is it's literally a cult building strategy. And again, I'm being totally serious. I'm not trying to be inflammatory or derogatory in any way. Simple logic, I think you can all understand. If you're telling people, do not engage in conversation, we are protecting our community. The goal there, like many cult building strategies, is to make people feel like their brothers and sisters are there to protect them. Don't let anyone attack them, defend them, but also don't let your members talk to any opposition. And I think I definitely am going to include that in the video I do tomorrow, because wow, I gotta say I'm not entirely surprised to hear that rhetoric coming from them, but it really, really is. It's alarming to me. We should be encouraging conversation to diffuse tensions, regardless of whether or not what they're doing is on purpose, it's intentional. All that will accomplish is that people will shut their ears and refuse to hear conversations, and it will push people further and further into the extremes. Also, for those that are watching, there's a thing called Super Chat. And if you'd like, you can Super Chat, which puts your comment, if it's at least $5, your comment will appear above everyone else's. And I can more easily see that, but it also helps support my work via your donations. So, much appreciated, everybody who's in the Super Chat. You know, people, I apologize for missing some of the Super Chats, but, you know, it's a bit difficult to read all of the comments, especially when I'm trying. Like, it's like I can, if there's downtime, I can read the comments, but someone in the Super Chat said, "Have you heard Lauren Southern has embraced identity politics and supports generation identity, so she's a white nationalist, not that it's a bad thing." Well, what is this? What I will say is, I'm a mixed race person, so obviously I'm not going to agree with like white ethno states, because I'm a product of the opposite of that, I guess. But it's all, as far as I'm concerned, you believe whatever you want, so long as you're not violent. I will say too, right? Like I know Lauren, like I'm friends with her. We don't like hang out all the time, but when I see her around, we hang out. We've done some videos together. I definitely was critical of what she did with generation identity. But here's the thing. I think that may have been the most extreme thing she's done. For those that don't know, she went out on a boat and tried to block an NGO ship from leaving Italy to go pick up migrants and refugees in Libya. And while I personally don't agree with that, it's more to do with me being a journalist, and I see her becoming more of a political activist, and there are a lot of dangers and risks involved in what she's doing, and it's a lot more complicated than the action she took. That being said, you know, look, at the end of the day, it's, you know, getting in a little boat and going in front of an NGO because you feel that what you're doing is right is significantly different from bashing someone over the head with a bike lock or slashing two people who are fighting with you. So while I have been critical, as long as you're not violent, you know, I'm kind of, just don't be violent and you can believe what you want. Honestly, like, clearly Lauren and I don't agree on a lot of things, but I'm not gonna yell at her simply because she, you know. I am indeed a mutt. Yep, I got a bunch of different Euro blood and Asian blood. Not a bunch, I got Korean.
You stand with the Nazis! You are racist! He confirmed it right here! They know! We are the Nazis! We confirmed it! No hate! No hate! No hate! No hate! No hate! Yes, another side, there's confirmed Nazis.
There they are. There's the crew right there. Fucking coward ass motherfuckers. That whole crew of them. That's what America supports. Yeah, that's who they belong.
Hey, are you the base Spartan?
I am base Spartan.
So I heard that you had you defected and joined the other side, or?
Yeah, I am over here only because look at that right there. I know each one of them. They have swastikas and SS symbols on their fucking shit.
Can you say that again? Okay. Say that again?
That I am base Spartan of the fucking alt-right.
Yeah.
I'm on their fucking website for the last 3 months.
Okay.
Doing nothing but seeing more hate, This whole crew right there, look at them.
Yeah.
They're all fucking dedicated fucking Nazis. And you know what? I gave my address to them. I gave my fucking phone number because I live in La Puente. So any other motherfucker wants to come out and get some from the alt-right, come get some. I'm not gonna stand for hate no more. I mean, I didn't know they were hate. I thought we were the bad guys. But then I discovered that these people are agitators and they want to create division. And I'm not gonna stand back and just say, okay, I'm not okay with that. You know, I had a total fan base over here. I could make money off these bitches and shit, but you know what? You don't sell your values. I asked those people, don't sell your values to these fucking scumbags, and they did. And you know what? I don't stand with them no more because I don't want to be a part of hate.
But don't you think the people aligned with Antifa have done some pretty egregious things as well?
No, they have. They've done some fucked up things. But you know what, man? We all make mistakes, and we're all people, and you know what? In the end, we're all like God's people under one umbrella. And these people don't come out here for free speech. They come out here to agitate for the fight to happen. And you know, there's people out there who are like, dude, there's hate here, and I hate it. And it infuriates them. And should it not infuriate them? Should they be using violence? Probably not. But you know what? I believe that this side is speaking against hate, and I hate hate. I'm not a hater. You know, my whole family are Latinos, and I grew up with Latinos. And
There you go. La Puente, the majority over there.
you know,
Latinos.
I'm not gonna sit back and let people hide behind an American flag and say it's patriotic. No, it's fucking hate. They're here today. We don't even have Sharia law. No Western culture has Sharia law.
I know if you
But we're-
research it, no Western culture has Sharia law.
no one wants Sharia
Everyone
law.
resists Sharia law.
Everyone does. And you know what? This is just about helping create hate and division again. And
You were just in Portland about a week ago, right?
dude, I was the celebrity of the alt-right. I was like, I'm the man.
So what happened between Portland, which was just not even a week ago?
All right, I'll tell you. Some Jewish lady. I got a fucking Jewish star on my head. I got the LGBTQ. I got Lives Matter, and I'm trying to promote, like, you know, that I love everyone. Everyone calls me a fucking racist, and I get tired of it. These people are actually racist, and how could I just sit back? And then I think the breaking point is when this Jewish lady comes up to me, and she's talking to me. She's really nice. I don't know who the hell she is. And at one point, even though I explained my viewpoints about love and all of us being one, she turns around and she says,
She was the one who was with Johnny.
that's cool, I know she is. She turns around and she says to me, anyways, she turns around and says to me, hey, does my life matter? And you know, that sort of hurt me that this lady, this Jewish lady, would ask me if her life mattered, because she knew that the people behind me that I was standing with were Nazis. She knew better than me. And you know what? It wasn't every person, but when we collaborate with hate, are we not collaborators?
I was just physically attacked by one of the Antifa guys about 10 minutes ago. You're with that group.
Right.
Well, you know what?
Collaborating
You know
with
what?
terrorist organizations.
That's okay. That's okay.
Twice.
I'm not Antifa. That's who I am. That's all. And
You are on their side now?
I'm over here preaching.
We're promoting love. We're not Antifa.
God.
We're not.
It's about love, not hate. What's wrong with that?
Why
You
can't
guys
we?
can
Why
hate.
can't we say resist hate? We're not saying resist anything on your side. We're saying resist.
God, like, you know what? This is the thing.
Why can't we
What
have
about
our
my
opinion?
values?
That's it. You guys.
saying that you're by associating with
But there is no Sharia law.
But what
here.
about you guys? What about those guys with the?
What about the
the
Nazis?
guys?
What about the Nazis?
Listen.
You guys
What
walked
about
in.
the guys with the
You were
skull
with,
mask?
walking with Johnny.
What about the
and
guys
Johnny
with the
and his
skull
friends
mask?
are Nazis.
What about the guys with the black masks?
Okay, but the guys on the skull mask have swastika symbols on their face.
Why would you guys stand with them, man?
Why are
Have a
Nazis
voice.
friends?
And
Nazis
is
are
violence
friends with
right?
Latinos.
No.
You see how they're upset about us not walking on the other side?
We're just pointing out your hypocrisy. Antifa literally
We're
almost
not with
killed someone in
Antifa. We're
Berkeley,
promoting love.
and
We're
you guys
promoting love.
are fine with
we're not
collaborating with
promoting
them.
Antifa. We're
No, but
promoting love.
How
not
are we
hate.
collaborating
What's wrong?
with them?
How are you?
Okay,
We're standing on our own. We have love,
extremist
not
group and not the
hate.
other?
You're trying to seem like the victim here. You know?
No, they are the victims. They've been the victims.
Well, I'm not on anyone's side, and I was physically attacked by Antifa. So,
You're not talking about the other side.
Okay, but you guys are out.
I'm not saying we're all innocent. I'm not saying we're all innocent. But I've been to many.
They got weapons over there. On the other side.
Were you in Berkeley on April 15th? No, you weren't.
I was.
So you don't care when they were bashing people's heads in Antifa?
That was
right.
wrong.
You guys have
white supremacists in that group. You guys have white supremacists. I'm not harassing you. It's the first time I saw you.
No, you were over there trying to
Yeah, you know why? You know what I'm telling you why? Because you're siding with the white supremacists. Those Proud Boys, the ones that have their face covered, those are not white supremacists. He used to be a part of you guys.
You are.
He used to be a part of you guys.
You're ridiculous.
Yeah, what, okay, let me ask you a question. Is there white supremacists on your side? Yes or no?
Right and denounce the violence on the left by Antifa.
he didn't hit me. He just tried grabbing my hat. But he physically grabbed my hat.
We're not about that. We're only about, hey, we didn't betray our country. We love our country. We're just here to spread love. And on that side, there's Nazis. How? If anyone ever liked me, they would be happy that I stood for my moral grounds and I didn't sell out. I didn't sell out my American flag. I would never touch it.
But here's the conundrum for me, right? The reason why I don't want to align with anybody is on one side, you're right. I wouldn't call them Nazis. They're white nationalists. Identity Europa, absolutely.
They have swastikas.
All right, well, if they do, then yes. They're literally, neo-Nazis, I guess.
Dude, we did see it.
Yeah. No, I believe you. I believe you. Right. No, I believe you. I'm saying if that's the case, then they're neo-Nazis. Yeah, I agree.
Why none of the alt-right, when have they once flew a flag of the LGBT?
I think they're doing it right now, actually.
Well, maybe they did. But they don't support them.
There's extremism on both sides.
There is.
And so it's
I'm not about any of that.
I mean, look, right now, they were just over the microphone saying, do not have conversations with anybody. They said, if anyone tries talking to you, start chanting and do not engage.
Oh, me?
They said that over the megaphone on the speaker. No. It's not. The counter protest is not all Antifa. It's a mix. And the organizers, whoever they were, on the microphone said, do not have conversations with these people. Look, I see extremism on both sides.
It is.
But the only side that attacked me is this
I know,
one.
that's sad. I ain't gonna say that that's right, because, dude, I'm here for only one reason: to spread love and fucking unity. That's it. And you know what, man? I don't know why people hate me, because I hate and I hate racism. That's it. This ain't about America. You guys ain't under fire no more. You don't need me.
Why didn't you come here dressed as the Spartan and join their protest?
Like I said, we're both neither side is innocent.
Because I'm not the Spartan no more. My name's John, and I'm just a regular man, and I don't want to be a fame. I don't want people to notice me. I was actually gonna come dressed like Antifa only for the privacy. For privacy. We just want our private lives back. We want to speak up for what we believe in. We love America, but we don't love hate. And I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry that I couldn't be a hater.
All right, man. Stay safe. Whoa. And I just broke everything. There we go. Well, that is a formerly base Spartan who has just said he is no longer the base Spartan anymore. The end of an era. So apparently people on the right are upset to whatever degree. I don't know. I mean, honestly, look, I don't care. People can believe whatever they want as long as you're not violent. And so I wanted to point out, I would never say it's almost impossible to say who's equivalent, right? Are these two groups the same? No. There's too many opinions flying around to make any assertion in one direction or the other. But only one group has attacked me. And so you certainly do have violence coming from Antifa and over on this side. And then you see fights break out with the group on the right when they cross over into the counter-protest space. There's a sign that says, "Protect our women and LGBTQ." My phone keeps saying poor connection, but I don't know why. Here's one of the anti-Sharia is over on the counter-protest side. Some people are saying that base Spartan is a troll, and I think that might be true. That is entirely plausible. mounted officers over here, some motorcycle officers, some SUVs. They're trying to make sure the two groups do not collide again. We've got the police on both sides here. I see someone in the comments said, quote, "This is so stupid." Yes, you are not incorrect. You know, but let me not say it to rag on anybody. It's more about the fact that it's agitation. Because the reality is, what they're actually protesting each other, doesn't even make sense. Nobody here, left or right, wants Sharia law. One group obviously is more worried about it than the other. Both sides don't like fascism. One side is obviously more worried about it than the other. And so it's almost like two groups protesting each other, but for the wrong reasons. You know, this group over here holding up signs saying no to Sharia at a group that is saying no to the KKK and no to Trump. It's just so weird. Symbols. That's all it is. Symbols. You guys ever see Boondock Saints? The symbology. It's interesting that whenever a truck goes by and honks their horn, it's the anti-Sharia side that cheers. The counter-protest doesn't, as if to assume that any trucker who blows their horn is conservative. Maybe the Trump signs. They're pledging allegiance to the flag over there on the anti-Sharia side. So I see somebody tweet at me something that is interesting. Regardless of the threat, one side is opposed to Sharia practices, female genital mutilation, and this side is not protesting that at all. Well, I would say it's fairly obvious that this group is certainly not for those things either. You can see that one side is very concerned about these things enough to come out here and make a statement. The other side is more worried about the statement itself. Oh, this is ridiculous.
Why do you hate laws? Why do you hate? Why are you so afraid of hate? Why are you so afraid of hate?
So this is my gimbal. Look at that. Isn't that cool? The camera stays wherever it's pointed.
Many people live here. USA! 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 USA!
This is a gimbal, as people ask me. So the camera stays pointed in the same way no matter what. No matter how I move it, mostly will stay in the same direction. And it's a Gimbal. This is the GoPro Karma. It's not perfect, but it's really good. Now this group on the left here is calling this group over on the right Nazis. We got a rainbow "Don't Tread on Me" flag. This is actually really interesting. Yeah, how's it going, man? Hey, nice to meet you. The guy who kind of looks like. Oh. Wonder where? Yep, I'll cross over here. Let's go over to the other side and see what's going on. And now we're on the other side. This is San Bernardino, California, just outside of Los Angeles. This guy across the street just unzipped his hoodie to reveal a Trump-Pence t-shirt.
No Sharia law. We love the Constitution. No Sharia law. Trump, 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 Trump. Trump, you are president.
I thought that was him. Is that him? No, he's right here. How's it going, man?
Come back to your basements, your basement dwellers.
Hey, can I interview you about your flag?
Go back to your basement.
Oh no.
You mooches.
Can I interview you about the flag?
Yeah, just I'm just gonna put this way.
So this is a rainbow "Don't Tread on Me" flag.
Absolutely.
Is this a pro-LGBTQ libertarian flag?
Absolutely.
So I've heard people across the street say that no one over here is pro-LGBTQ, that they
Well,
weren't.
that's the one thing that people don't really understand. This movement, when it comes to the silent majority, is not your typical GOP. We're not your typical GOP. I'm not a Republican, and that's what freaks people out. Is I'm a centrist, I'm a common sense. My best friends are gay. My family, my ohana in the islands, they're lesbians, they're trans. I hang out with them every time I go. I love them. It's not my place to be God. It's not my place to judge. It's my place to see the heart of a human being and protect the citizens of this country and stand up for what is right. I'm not here to protest Islam. I'm here to protest Sharia law that treats women and murders children and stones them and gays and throws them off the building. That is unconstitutional to the United States of America. But we have a massive gays for Trump movement here in Southern California. And yeah, a lot of us here, we don't care if you're gay or you're straight or you're black or you're white or you're lesbian. That is what the media has told you. And I'm not anti-LGBTQ. Add anything else. I'm not.
Or racist or.
No, I'm not racist. That's Hispanic. I mean, come on, families in the islands and the Hawaii. One of my girlfriends is African American, and it's sickening.
I'm mixed race. They still call me racist.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what you are. They're calling black guys racist against black people, but it's ridiculous. But it's the media. It's a narrative. All they want to push is a narrative that Trump is racist and everyone that follows him. But what's crazy is this movement wasn't a movement from the Republican Party. This movement is more of the centrist, middle, silent majority that loves everybody. We just want to protect this country and the people. That's it. Simple.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So I saw somebody had a flag that's a rainbow flag but it's the "Don't Tread on Me" flag. And that's the yellow flag with the "Don't Tread on Me." It's libertarian. It might be it's a little more nuanced than that, I suppose, but it's basically libertarians are the ones who are always flying it for the most part. And this was rainbow, and so that woman said that she's her dad's Hispanic, and she's pro LGBTQ rights. So I think one interesting thing that I've seen, very bad connection. Why do I have a bad connection? Let's back up. Look at this, a whole lot of nothing. I've had a lot of conversations with people who are progressive. They're almost far left, not really, but they really do believe that anti-Sharia is about racism specifically, nothing else. I've talked to people about it, and they just flat out say they don't actually care about religion. It's just racism. It's really about keeping out brown people. And well, I don't think that I've found that to be true. I just don't. That's not something I've seen. So right now, I got dirt all over me. It's about 11:35, and I'm gonna try and get something to drink. But I will say, this is kind of, I don't know what you'd call it, play, I guess, because you got people on both sides crossing over both sides. Mostly the Trump people coming over here to go shopping. They might not let me film inside, so I might have to black out the camera for a second.
Very, very serious battle. Must be protected. Pretty good.
This is the Shell gas station. And yeah, we're just out here in San Bernardino for those just tuning in. Anti-Sharia law protest here in California. Look at those open skies and hills straight ahead. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that beautiful, ladies and gentlemen? Driving out here was gorgeous. I saw the most beautiful clouds rolling over the mountains. If you look over here, you can actually see all those clouds right up in those mountains. If only we had Bob Ross here to paint a picture. It is beautiful. And then to my right, you've got a bunch of people yelling at each other, all super pissed off, protesting things that kind of don't make sense because they all agree that Sharia law is bad, but one side doesn't like the fact the other side likes Sharia law. Things I don't understand. Well, for those that are watching right now, I've got my my iPhone, which is what I'm streaming on right now, but is connected to the hotspot of my Galaxy S8. Really, truly beautiful device. So I've got two different phone plans in case one doesn't work. And sure enough, earlier I was using T-Mobile, and you know, it's not that any one service is not good enough, but that they work different in different areas. So it's actually a crisp and refreshing day out right now. You know, but running around in the sun can get a little warm, so I'm gonna chill here for a bit, drink some water, make sure I stay hydrated. The police here moving these two American flag guys out of the group, but I don't think these guys are even part of the group. I think they're just walking down the street. Just coming to get some fried chicken maybe over here at Crispy Crunchy Chicken Cajun Recipe. Yeah, this food mart, they got a fried chicken inside. A little restaurant with some tables. Looks like a pretty comfy spot. And then this is the gimbal when it's off. You can see it just kind of dangles around. But that's about it. Someone wants to know what I bought? I bought water. Oh, I can't show you the brand. Oh, too late. I'm supposed to block out the brand or something, right? I see some libertarian flags. So I'll go over there in just a minute. I see people, they want me to go talk to some of the identitarians. But I'm gonna chill for a quick second, drink some of this water, because I can't carry everything all at once. I'm pretty sure that smart water isn't really like special. I say I'm pretty sure because I don't actually know. And that's the legal distinction that stops me from getting sued. I bet if I leave my water right here, right in this tree, I'll come back and it'll still be there. Is that guy here protesting, or he's just walking by, right?
Nah, he's not. He's over there with them.
This guy?
Oh.
These two guys right here.
Yeah, they're on the side.
Are they? They look like they're kind of just walking through the neighborhood. I think they're more confused than anything. Hey, are you guys here for the protest, or were you just passing by? Are you
protest? There's no protest. It's supporting the USA. How about you? Are you supporting the USA?
I'm not here for anybody.
Oh, good. All right, that's all about it.
That's why I'm just here to hear what people have to say. Well, I guess that guy is here for the event, actually.
To the NSA. Pull out your social security cards if you can.
Looks like there's going to be a big photo. It is dusty.
Yeah, if you got a front tire.
Someone mentioned I need a Camelback, and you're absolutely right, I do. I should go buy one. I'm actually a co-op member of REI. Great Outdoor Products. I don't know if I'm legally allowed to do that. Is that because I actually am a co-op member? The bag I'm wearing is from REI. I haven't shopped there in years, though.
My phone's slower than my phone.
She's across the street. Tell her to be careful.
Of course, I had to put those nitwits over there where the cold drinks.
Oh.
Did they know you beat the shit out of their cousins in Berkeley? I want you to talk about Pizzagate.
NBC.
Why are you fake news?
Japanese? Oh.
Why won't the Japanese
Why
news
don't the Japanese talk about Seth Rich?
Yeah. What? You don't know Seth Rich?
Japanese news
Okay,
station,
she's
they don't cover
Japanese.
Seth Rich.
Well, you should Google him because it's an important thing to know
Seth
about.
Rich. Also, the Jews control the news.
Are you with NHK? No? Yeah, that was pretty cringy. Look. You see, and here's the thing. There's a photo where I am hanging out with a bunch of Trump supporters, and yes.
Outstanding.
How's it going, man? Nice to meet you.
Great work, man.
Thank you, appreciate it. And you see, Baked and I feel embarrassed. I forgot the other guy's name. We're just coming up to this Japanese newswoman asking about Pizzagate and Seth Rich. And this is exactly why I will take an invitation to go hang out with anyone. Look, if I made a joke the other day about I wouldn't sit down with Antifa. No, I certainly would. I really will sit down with anyone because I'm going to argue with them. And if you want to know the secret, when I went and had dinner with the Trump people in Portland, we basically just argued the whole time. But that's what I agree with. I agree with the fact that we can exchange ideas, and they say that you are the summation of the 5 people who surround you. So if we can all come together, we'll influence each other a little bit, everyone will be a lot less extreme. Unfortunately, we just heard from that side that they were saying do not have conversations with people, and that is offensive. Oh, we got an old doggo here. Let's see what doggo found. Something's going on. What's this? Nope, false alarm. What happened?
That dude was screaming at you when we came up.
So earlier?
Yeah.
Yeah, he attacked me.
Oh, you're giving a platform to fascists?
But he actually attacked me twice.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Damn, we should have stayed around you. We were standing there and then I saw him.
And I told him, I said, I'm giving you a platform now too. And he went like, yeah, you are. I'm like, okay, and? I'm filming you, I'm filming them. What's your problem? They're nuts.
Can't even be neutral.
But not even that. He just attacked me.
That's what I'm saying.
Just for he wants to come up to me and start screaming in my face and then attack me like I didn't do anything to this guy.
Yeah. You have any problems here today?
I got attacked by one of the Antifa guys.
Really?
Yeah. I don't want to make it seem like he punched me in the face or anything. No, he came at me, reached over and tried grabbing my hat, and he had his hand on my head twice. So it's not like... Yeah, he was getting physical with me. I don't want to make it sound like I was in a fight or anything, right? Just that these people are willing to cross that line.
You're like...
He started screaming at me.
We saw him, so we came up, and then he left. Then we thought it was, over.
No, he came back.
Oh.
Well, I walked over to the corner where he was, and he started yelling at me, so I started filming him.
Did you get it up there?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll be soon.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, well, tomorrow, because this is the video for today, a live stream. Yeah.
I'm actually surprised there's so many people here, I guess because of the shooting, right?
There was a shooting?
Well,
you mean like Portland or not Portland?
No, the terrorist attack.
Oh, wait. Oh, that's right. Yeah, I didn't expect there to be a big crowd like this.
That's why.
But I. Yeah. But
it was, this event turns violent, and people are actually.
What do you expect in places like stuff like that? But you don't expect it. I'm surprised.
But here's the problem is these people across the way also oppose Sharia law, and these people up here also oppose fascism.
Yeah, of course they do.
So I understand there's a bigger disagreement in general politics, but it's like if there was no conflict, if people just came to have a conversation, there'd be a real conversation.
No, there might be 2 or 3 people on that other side that actually want to implement.
Oh, of course.
It is almost a waste. It's a waste of time and energy with just doing the chanting.
And sure enough, there are some people over here who are white nationalists, right? It's a small fraction of doesn't represent the majority. But what ends up happening is, both sides are protesting each other not for the core issues. It's simply, you're the other, so I'm going to protest you. You're the bad guy, right? So it's like everyone's the bad guy to each other.
Yeah, if they're not having the dialogue, then they'll never get to that other side.
I will say, however, I was physically attacked by a guy over there, and they also said over the microphone, do not have conversations with people. Flat out, they said if anyone tries to engage you, do not have a conversation, start chanting them down.
Yeah.
If they come to you, link arms, they're attacking your community.
They're here to change anybody's mind. They're here to intimidate people. And they
think the same thing about you guys, though.
Well, but see, no, that's the problem.
I'm not saying it's true, but
these people are out here is because you couldn't say anything bad about the encroachment of Islam in this country or anywhere else for years and years and years. People are just finally fed up with it, and they're not saying go away. They're saying, hey, we want to preserve our way of life. If you're going to come over here, you need to integrate here.
Well, there are certainly some people over here who are saying go away, but
it's the same.
It's mixed.
You can call it a free speech rally. You can call it an anti-Sharia rally. It's really the same groups on either side of the street. The same people are going to show up at a free speech rally on this side. They're going to show up at an anti-speech rally. They're going to show up at a Trump rally. They're going to show up at a Tea Party rally. It's
you call it whatever you want.
Down the line.
And that's why I thought it would be interesting if the free speech group, the Trump group, held a no racism rally. What would happen then?
I think that would be a great idea.
I think a lot of people would show up.
But what would they protest against?
Of course they would.
Anti-racism?
Well, of course they would.
Tim Pool!
How's it going, man?
Good stuff, dude.
Thanks, appreciate it.
How long were you hanging out with also last time in Portland?
With what? Like, I don't know, half hour. Yeah, they sent me a message saying that they're all going to meet up, and I went to the bar. And now everyone's acting like it's a big scandal, I guess. Well, the left, they're like,
dude, didn't you know that you literally pledged your allegiance to the soul of Adolf Hitler by hanging out with James Ellison?
But we're like, the funny thing is,
there was a blood ritual. You
exactly. Like,
damn, you get invited to the cool stuff.
We're all arguing. We're at a table, and I'm basically like explaining why I am not on the right or the left.
He's third position.
He's a national socialist. No,
No, it's just, look, I was just saying this, but the people over there oppose Sharia just as much as the people over here oppose fascism.
You have these people fighting in Rojava for the Kurds. They have anti-fascist flags, YPG, PKK. Their people are literally being beheaded by followers of Sharia, and yet they come out here and they cuck against their own people. And that's the funniest thing. That's the funniest thing for me.
Well, it's because that's what I'm saying. Like obviously everyone here opposes religious law. Everyone here opposes fascism. But because there's this political game going on of, right versus left, everyone's protesting each other when in reality, I'm sure half the people here agree entirely with half the people over there on a specific issue they could actually change.
You can hear. I was talking to them earlier. They came up to us. I got my Crusader flag here. They go up and they go, "Your race is dying. This is our country." You had, I don't know, the guy was an Arab or a Hispanic, and he goes with the Che Guevara flag, red flannel. You go look, you go through the footage, you can find this guy. Literally said, "Your race is dying. It's our country." Like, do you understand if I said the converse of that? Do you understand what would happen to me? I'd lose my job. I lose everything.
Yeah, of course.
But the point is that these people it's okay for them to be anti-white. It's okay for them to be anti-Christian. It's okay for them to be anti-normal. That's the frankest way to put it.
I would say it was, but now you're seeing groups like this, the group you're with now. People are coming up and countering. There has definitely been this long-standing narrative of anti-white that's been on the left. It's particularly Vice had no problems. Seriously, when I worked at Vice, they were like, "Hey, do your thing, whatever." But look, as time goes on, any news organization based in a big city is going to hire people who live in a big city, and people who live in a big city tend to be liberal. And so it just goes further and further left. But the other thing you got to realize about media companies is that the people who are able to get jobs at media companies are the people who are willing to work for dirt pay. What does that mean? It means their school is probably paid for. Yeah. There's no, I should say it's rare. It is rare that someone who works in media came from a middle class, blue collar upbringing, and was able to get a job at a big media company in New York. It's actually, and this is not coming from me. This was actually there was like a New York Times op-ed.
That's the problem. There's work for One American News because we'll hire you.
Well, but here, so
you're One America.
He's wage cucking right now. Look, he's doing
shilling for my network.
Where they're based in DC?
Well, no, they're actually based in San Diego. That's why we're coming out here. Actually, from Iowa, and we have offices in DC and New York.
So basically, I love ragging on the media, but for a long time, the only people who got jobs in media were interns who were unpaid.
No, absolutely. That's a reality. For most media internships, you're always going to be unpaid. Luckily, One American News, I get paid, which is amazing.
But One America is more like centrist, right?
One America is definitely right-leaning.
All right.
Yeah, they're definitely right-leaning. I would say so.
Well, there you go.
Well, yeah, honesty, right? But hey, how is the network cool with paying you? You know, where's this integrity that you don't get paid for your internships, you don't get paid for anything like that?
It's the weirdest thing that I think a lot of people on the left have sort of lost track of, and and this is not supposed to be like a defense of capitalism or anything, but certainly the idea.
I'm not actually a capitalist either.
But the idea
economic
of
nationalism is the future. Steve Bannon did nothing wrong.
The idea of being like this trinket, this symbol represents labor done in society, and you can trade it for something is a very like rudimentary, basic concept.
Well, yeah.
But a lot of people on the left are simply saying, why don't we just share with each other? Why can't I do something for you and you do something for me?
Because they live in a low-trust, deracinated society where people don't see each other as anything but consumers or workers. Look, when you look at Sweden in the 70s, all right? Sweden in the 70s, highest rate of trust. Almost no murders, no rapes, okay? Closest thing to a utopia that has ever existed in this world, all right? His mother's from Sweden.
Yeah, I don't like that place.
They were able to do Nordic socialism where it was a 70% tax rate because of high trust. They saw each other as a family. They embrace the core tenet of nationalism, which is your neighbor is your brother.
Yeah.
You put in people that fundamentally you can't relate with. They have different values, different cultures, different, on some level, different genetic heritages. And you lose that. You lose that high trust society. I might fuck this up, but I think Robert Putnam wrote a book called Bowling Alone. And it talks about basically how diversity of cultures and ethnicities actually lowers trust. People spend less money, they're less engaged in community and political activities, and they spend more time at home, and they spend more time basically as a deracinated consumer.
Well, no, don't you think maybe in 50 to 100 years they will see each other, the cultures will merge?
I don't see it because of how polarized it is. I don't see, personally, maybe you could call me a cynic, I would love for that to be true. If that could potentially happen, that'd be great. I don't think it's possible because everybody wants to hang on to their heritage. Nobody is giving anything up. There is no give and take. Like Islam is a good example in England or Sweden. They come there, they take benefits. They basically create these, I don't like the term
they're governments within governments.
Yeah, they're parallel. They build these parallel systems. You're never going to be able to integrate these people because the left fundamentally doesn't want to, because they've weaponized demographics to maintain their failed economic policies. Look at the Blairites in the Blairite faction of the Labour Party. Tony Blair let in 2 million immigrants, I think, something like that, during his prime ministership. And they specifically said that they were doing this to try to prop up their party because Labour was failing. That's the thing. The Democratic Party does the same thing. It's weaponized. They understand identity politics. They understand you could reject identity politics as much as you want. And this is what I like what Jay Malsop says about this. You could not play the game, but you're still wearing a jersey. You could choose not to play the game, but you still have a jersey on.
I'm a little bit of everybody, I guess.
Oh, dude, I would love a water. Thank you so much, bro. Appreciate it. No, I mean, like, dude, that's the thing is there's classic liberalism. I mean, it's a nice idea, but I don't see how it would be implemented.
There's a fight going on across the street. Something just happened. I saw some people pushing on some guy, so look, my water is still there like I said it would. No one's gonna move it. All this dust is messing up my contacts. I might lose vision soon, which would be unfortunate.
Hey, stop. Yo! De raza. Stolen property. Hey, Kim! How come you always looking for trouble? Why do we look for fight?
really meant that. Literally meant that.
Yeah, just one though. They caught it right there.
Standing on the right side of him.
Why is Donald Trump making deals with the Saudis? Why is Donald Trump making deals with the Saudis? Why is Donald Trump making deals with the Saudis? You know what? Refugees stop bombing. Simple as that. It doesn't take a rocket scientist. Why is Donald Trump making deals with the Saudis?
I know this guy is talking about executive action.
Whatever Donald Trump does, it doesn't matter. He doesn't get to agree with them, even if it goes against your interests, because you guys are blind sheep.
Hey, excuse me. Can I ask you some questions?
Yes.
So I noticed you were talking about Donald Trump, Saudi Arabia, and things like that. I'm curious. I know this. It's calling to the past, which I don't like normally doing. But how did you feel about Obama?
Okay, like Obama, I don't agree with Obama. I don't agree with Donald Trump. Just because I am against Donald Trump doesn't mean I'm for.
What did she say?
Obama. Right. That's what I was curious about.
So the thing is, these guys. The reason why I'm here is because these guys here are talking about against Sharia law. They're against Mexican people. They're about building the wall. But everything that Donald Trump has said, he's basically he's done the opposite. He said Mexico was going to pay for the wall. Is Mexico paying for the wall?
Apparently not at this point. I don't believe so.
Okay.
Eventually, I think he said, right?
Okay. He said he was gonna show the bad governments. He was gonna be not soft on the bad governments. The governments that laugh at America, quote unquote. Look what he did with the Saudis. He's making deals with the Saudis.
He had that tweet where he tweeted at the Saudi prince that your money wouldn't work on Trump and things like that. But then he received criticism for doing the deal with Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, and everything he's done, everything he's said is that he's done the opposite. You know,
What's the biggest issue you have with Donald Trump?
It's everything. I mean, the whole thing is everything is everything. He used racism to get elected. He said he was going to bring jobs back to China. I mean, from China. Look at Ivanka. Ivanka's making deals with the Chinese. She's building up her companies in China. So everything he said is BS. These guys, the sheep don't get it.
But I mean, if that's the case, the things you're saying are true. Wouldn't it make more sense to just calmly talk to them about it? I mean, bullhorning is just going to make them not want to listen to you.
Again, if I go on their side, they're some of them looking for trouble. The guy that was just here looking for trouble. So if I go over there, I don't mind. I can go over there.
I think you'd be fine if you went over there, honestly. I mean, they go back and forth. There's some, yelling.
That's the thing. It's okay. See, like, why is it the cops? They're facing us.
No, they're not. They got mounted officers right there facing the other side.
How many cops there?
They got 2 SUVs, 2 motorcycles, and 3 horses. Okay, you got 2 horses.
It wasn't the case. This just happened. It wasn't the case when I first got here. They were just focusing on us. I don't know what you're trying to do. You want to be the referee, or you want to be the peacemaker, or you want to be the peacemaker.
But better understand.
I already talked to when they come here. I talk to them.
Yeah.
These guys are so blinded. Like, it doesn't matter. Some of them are Nazis in that side. Neo-Nazis, white nationalists. How do I know? Because I monitor them. So I'm gonna.
Well, some of them are, yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we can talk. I don't mind talking. When they come here, I ask them questions. I talk to them. Like,
would you condone any violence?
Yes, I brought my daughter. Of course, I guess I'm a good.
I said condone.
Yeah. No, like in favor of violence.
Yeah, are you in favor of violence?
No, I'm not. Because it's not gonna prove nothing. We're just gonna go to jail. I have my daughter here. It's like, but some people are looking for violence.
Well, so let me ask you this: Would you oppose Sharia law?
Would I oppose Sharia law?
Yeah.
Well, it's not my culture. It's not my religion. So for me, I would oppose it. But I don't see a threat to it. They're just using that as a way to use it for hate. because it's like if there is a single threat of Sharia, it's probably like a little grain of sand, like thousands of years from now. It's like there's no threat of Sharia law here.
Well, some of the people over there have told me that it's not about there being Sharia law in the U.S. right now, but that they want to stop it from spreading. Because there have been some reported cases throughout the country.
It's gonna be the ugly, the bad, the good, and everything you see. You know, you can look at every religion. You know, you have those people that has those signs. I hate fags. Those Christians.
Westboro Baptist
Yeah,
Church.
there you go.
Yeah.
Are you gonna say all Christians are like them?
But there's like 40 of those people.
No, there's a lot of Christians that think like that.
I've talked to them about this too.
There's just the one little group.
That,
but,
you know,
are we gonna say, you know what? Let's stop Christian law because they're promoting they want a Christian government. You know, are we gonna? There's many Catholics that want to go back to where the old Roman Empire with the Catholic Church ruled over nations. Are we gonna say, how come they're not saying stop the Catholic Church? You know, it's just.
I ask them the same thing. I look, you know, I would never draw an equivalence between like either group or either religion, but I have asked them, and what they told me earlier, it was only a couple people, it's not the entire group, is that Christianity has been reformed. That's literally what they told me. So they view it as, you know, Saudi Arabia still, you know, kills people for being homosexual.
And these people, these governments are still in power because the U.S. allows it. Those are all puppets. All this stuff, these so-called Islamic terrorism, all these groups started with, like, during the Reagan years. You know, all these.
I feel like they'd agree with you, man. Like if you had this conversation.
I'm sure they agree with me, but they're not. They're focusing on going after the innocent Muslims. Why come they don't protest Donald Trump? How come they don't protest the corporations? How come they don't protest the Exxon Mobil?
You know, the reason is it's just people single out one or two issues that they feel represents their biggest problem, and that's what they protest. So sure enough, you have Antifa here, and you have.
If they really cared about it, they would be protesting. What's the guy that Donald Trump, Tillerson?
Rex Tillerson.
Yeah, he's making deals with many of those governments too, and
that's why I'm just not on anybody's side. It's politics as usual for everybody, no matter what.
Like I said, I don't support the Democrats. I don't support the Republicans. That's all. I'm not. They see from their point of view, it's like Democrat, Republican. I'm not even. To me,
no, I don't think so. I think most of these people aren't actually Republicans. Well, I don't know about most,
they
but
vote Republican. Or this. They're. You know, they'll vote Republican. Period. That's what they voted for Trump, because he's a Republican.
Well, you know, most of the. I don't know to what extent, but a large portion of people who voted for Trump were independent non-voters. In fact, there's a woman over there with a rainbow flag just across the street. She told me she was not a Republican, she was centrist you know.
Okay, yeah, but again, there's gonna be like, you're gonna find in every group, like people with different views, different that. But again, let's go back to why I'm here. I'm against Donald Trump's racism. I'm against the wall. I'm against the Muslim travel ban. I'm against his rhetoric. I'm against his hate. That's why I'm here.
Well, here's.
Hey, you guys, what do you guys think about white nationalism? What do you guys think about white nationalism?
Love, bro.
See, they won't answer the question. These are white nationalists. They won't answer the question.
I don't know if the people with the skull masks on are. I don't know if these guys specifically are.
What do you guys think? What do you think about white nationalism?
I don't fucking like you. That's what I know.
They won't answer the question. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, what's white nationalism? Explain it.
I'm gay, and you're fucking sexy.
I'm not gay. One of my best friends is gay. Let's go.
Okay, are you a white nationalist?
Get the fuck out of here. I look like a fucking your mother. White nationalist.
You're not to keep walking Anapog.
It's the guys with the skull masks on who are Identity Europa. I don't know if these guys specifically.
You at Berkeley, you weren't like that.
That's right. You did see me at Berkeley and you cowered down like the bitch you were. Fuck a Nazi.
Yeah, all right.
That's right. You're a Nazi and a coward. You know who I am.
Okay, this guy,
I know, yeah. Was that guy one of the white nationalists?
Yeah, he's a white nationalist and he has swastikas on his shit.
So what is white nationalism?
Well, you know what? When they have a swastika and they have the SS symbol, it to me represents only hate. And I don't care what their whole idea is. Any hate of anybody. Like, I mean, when a lot of people blame white people for everything. And you know what? That's not cool either.
Yeah, that sounds like hate.
It is. It totally is. I'm in agreement with that. But do we do hate too? Do we continue to hate? And I think the answer to hating and continuance, no. This is a time for healing. And that over there is not healing us. They're saying Sharia law, and they're saying fuck Sharia law like if these people are for it. We're family.
Well, no, hold on. These people showed up to their rally. Like, these people aren't protesting the counter-protest. The counter-protest showed up to protest
But they
them.
counter-protest too, though.
Yeah, they always counter-protest.
But and speaking specifically
and why
about
did they go out there? Why are they having a hiccup? Trump already won. Get over it.
Yeah, this does not represent the people who were fucking killed here.
Nope.
And I can tell you because I represent them, and that's why I'm here. This does not represent those people. They are not for this.
The people across the street.
The people who were attacked on December 2nd. Yeah. This does not represent them.
14 people. And you know what? While I was on the website with you guys, I told all you guys, you know, this is about remembering the people that fell, the 14 people. You guys didn't give a shit. You guys are all just a bunch of fucking hateful Nazis looking for fame. Fuck your fame. And yeah.
Well, not all of them.
Well, you know, it's
well,
not
most of them. Not all of them, but a lot of them.
Of course, bro. Not all of them. Of course not. But when you collaborate and you know there's Nazis like that one right there.
He's a Nazi.
God, you're skinny. You're like a woman.
Well, I can say the same thing about.
You know what we would do.
If
That's
you're-
right, white boy. Bye, baby.
Bye, Nazi.
Bye.
Bye.
You have my address. You know where to stop by. Don't be a coward. Show me what your white skin's made of. You have my address, white boy.
Hey! Hey! Hey, bro! Hey, white boy! White boy!
Christ, you don't have to see your name, boy.
Where is he? Where's that?
Yeah. Okay.
So you're saying if you collaborate, that's what you were just saying.
Yeah, if you collaborate, you're just as guilty.
Well, as far as anyone's concerned, you're collaborating with Antifa.
We're not collaborating with Antifa.
What
We're
does my
standing-
sign say?
Ours says love, not hate.
Sure, but listen.
How are we collaborating with Antifa?
Don't say you guys. I'm not with them.
Well, I'm just saying.
It sounds like you're with them.
Yeah, but
no,
anyways,
I'm just not with either of you.
No, that's
and
cool.
you guys are over here condemning them for the actions of a few. Meanwhile, you, who say you're not aligned with this group, are still standing on the side of people who are
Why aren't
violent.
they chanting the names of the victims here?
Because-
Why don't they have maybe some doves of peace and
I
love?
want to say something. The organizer, Denise Marie, she's a really nice lady.
She's a great lady.
She's a great woman who organized that event.
And
But
wanted peace and love.
She wanted peace and love, and I don't know if we have the messages, if they blocked us or whatever, but she straight up said, she don't care about people bringing flags, being patriotic. What she wanted was for people to come out casually, and this was more supposed to be a memorial for the people.
The organizer of the anti-Sharia thing.
Denise
no.
Ruiz.
The anti, yeah.
Yeah, the anti-Sharia.
She's a really nice lady. She has a great family.
But don't you think that if this group didn't show up at all, that's what would have happened?
No.
They're only chanting because there's a counter
But why don't
protest
they
here.
chant the names of the victims?
Yeah.
Why aren't they
they're-
chanting
listen.
the day of the day that they lost their lives?
Y'all are fighting.
Okay, but
you guys are fighting right
but
now.
see, that's right. We are arguing. And see, they didn't come out here for a memorial. I was part of their group. They came out here to start shit. I know.
Sorry. Cops are gonna move in.
So you got you got everything confirmed.
Hi, man. The police just moved up on the horses because this guy.
No KKK, no fascist USA. No Trump. 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 No fascist USA. No Trump. No KKK, 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 no fascist USA. No KKK, no fascist USA. No Trump. No KKK, no fascist USA. No Trump. no KKK, no fascist USA. No Trump, no KKK, no fascist USA. No Trump, no KKK, no fascist.
So a bunch of the anti-Sharia side has now crossed over to the Shell. Police are starting to move in.
Oh no, they told us to go down and around. We're like, okay, not a problem. PP break.
You guys are fine.
Thank you, ma'am.
How's it going, man?
I've been watching a long time.
Right on, man. Appreciate it.
My name's Kevin. I'm with No Thieves Allowed. You ever hear of those guys?
No, what's that?
NTA or No Thieves. We basically help catch all the people that try and go after police officers' families and all that good stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Like the guy that shot the cops in Ferguson.
That was crazy. That was nuts.
I'm the one that had the video.
And it's funny because people criticize me for wearing a bulletproof vest in Ferguson after people got shot.
Right. Anyways, I saw you all the time.
Right on, man.
I was out here for the shooting.
In December.
Were you able to see the building yet?
No, is that over here?
Yeah, it's right.
Well, hold on. People are doing some. Wait, yeah. Which? Oh, that dome. That is the building.
It's right next to it.
Oh, that's where the shooting happened.
A lot of the firefighters.
Oh wow.
Right.
Once again, many people from the anti-Sharia side have gone into the food mart. This is probably going to be the gist of it, I'll tell you what. Seems like a lot of people from the counter-protests have already left, and there's a small group of people that may be aligned with Antifa. At least a couple people I see would have said they were. But again, the counter-protest side has really gotten a lot smaller.
because this is an anti-Muslim protest across the street. This is white supremacy, this is fascism, this is Nazism, and today they're targeting Muslims. Tomorrow they target every damn body, and we will not stand for that shit. So I want to invite to the microphone a good friend of mine, Mona Sheikh. She's from Los Angeles. She is a Muslim woman. She is a comedian. She is a firebrand, hilarious, and she's going to talk to you guys and maybe talk to these assholes across the street too. Mona, come on up.
Can't be just going in the street, idiot. There's laws. Oh, God. You guys are funny. No hate. No hate. I don't want to hit you.
There we go, right where I left it. Maybe somebody spiked it. Smells fine. Tastes fine. Ah, yes, good old water. Right where I left it. Sitting in the shade, keeping cool. For those just tuning in, this is San Bernardino, which is just about 50 to 60 miles outside of Los Angeles. And we've got counter-protesters here. The main event was an anti-Sharia law event. And now we've got a large group of counter-protesters here. They lined up in linked arms as a bunch of the anti-Sharia protesters made their way into this food mart. is that thing you're wearing? Fencing jacket. It's a fencing jacket.
Get some notes for your documentary.
What's up? What's up?
Some good notes for your documentary you're getting.
I don't have one. What do you mean? 115,000? 140 on Twitter?
If you're gonna go to the business, go to business. Please don't instigate back here.
No. He was asking me about my YouTube channel. I'm a journalist.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sorry.
Thank you.
So you were saying earlier that Antifa attacked you here. Was it here or?
Oh yeah. I see the guy. He's like the tallest Antifa guy.
And what did he do to you?
He tried grabbing my hat.
Okay.
So it's like, here's the thing. You come up to me like the first time when the guy like Matt slipped the hat off my head. That's annoying. This guy charged me. This guy like lunged at me and swung at me and grabbed my head. And then he basically actually had his hand on my head, grabbing. I pulled back, shoved his arm away, backed up, and then when I took a step forward, he charged me again, and again lunged over, swinging at me like it was significantly more aggressive. Oh yeah. He hit me twice. He hit me.
Well, obviously he was weak because you've got no marks on you at all.
No, like he wasn't punching me. He was trying to grab my head.
Okay. I see.
But it was like he actually had his hand full palm on my head.
Right.
You know,
so if you guys have been following, we were live in Portland with Tim Pool. He's the most benign, balanced journalist.
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't. I mean, people say like I'm objective, real news, whatever. I just say like I don't care who wins. I just like I'm just not here for anybody.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So you're not on either side. You report very balanced. I mean, I would say that you're the most balanced journalist that I know.
I appreciate it.
And Antifa still attacks you, like at every rally.
Oh yeah.
And so
like I can go over to the other side and flat out be like I disagree with you, and they're like, well, you know, it's like I had one guy tell me that classic liberalism is a fine idea because that's what they call me, a classic liberal. Like he can flat out tell me he disagrees with me and thinks that what I believe in doesn't make sense, and that's about it.
Like a Dave Rubin or a Summers, things like that.
Because I consider myself mostly moderate, but I wouldn't deny that I grew up in a big city in the South Side in a poor neighborhood, so I probably have more liberal ideas. And honestly, the documentary stuff I've done has been like center left. It's been like moderate to center left. I won't lie about an issue, but I've covered issues that are considered liberal. But I've also covered issues that I consider that are considered conservative. But regardless, this guy from Antifa started screaming that I give platforms to fascists because to their ideology, simply interviewing someone is empowering them.
Yep.
To an extent, I understand, right? You give them airtime, you give them a platform. But for me, I'm not going to say who's right or wrong. Let people speak their minds and say what they believe in, and then society will sort out what they want.
There is no such thing as hate speech unless you're trying to change laws.
No. There is hate speech.
Well,
it's just hate speech is protected by the First Amendment.
Right. Exactly.
The Supreme Court has ruled numerous times that it's a fact.
Right.
So
would you think? Do you believe that Antifa should be labeled a terrorist organization?
I guess it's a tough thing to say, but I lean closer towards yes, simply for the fact that Eric Clanton bashed 7 people over the head with a bike lock.
Right.
So, the challenge is most of them don't. They claim to not be aligned. They're like, oh no, it's just like a loose affiliation. And it's like, right, like a lot of terrorist groups are loose affiliations where a single actor will take out an act in the name of an organization.
Right.
So if you're flying the flag, if you're wearing the clothes, if you're wearing black with the red and black, and you're saying you are here with Antifa, well, Antifa has thrown explosives at people. They've bashed people over the head with bike locks. So here's what I'll say: the people on this side have called out the egregious attacks by white people on, say, on churches or Muslims. That stuff has happened. Most of the terror, there was only about 4 instances of what could actually be considered terror or hate crime in this country, and 3 of it was a white guy attacking someone else. In one instance, it was a white guy in Portland killing 2 other white guys. In 2 other instances, it was racist people.
To them?
No, this is true.
Okay.
So in January, I believe, there was an Islamic attack in Denver.
Right.
A jihadist stabbed a train guy. I don't know the full details, but I researched this a little bit. And then in the following months, there was about 1 attack each that was a white person attacking a minority. So we've had 1 Islamic attack and 3 attacks from white people. Out of those 3, 1 of them was a white guy attacking other white people.
So what about the ones that didn't end up fail, like Ohio State, where the guy ran over?
Well, no, listen.
He had an agenda the whole time. So we're doing an interview right now.
Well, here's what I'm saying. No, come here. Come back.
No, fuck him. The ones that didn't end up failing,
wait,
like Ohio State.
hold on. Is this guy? I just gave his own talking point, and now he's mad at me.
Right, exactly.
Why is he mad
yeah.
at me? But the point I'm trying to make is, now I lost my train of thought because this guy.
Well, we're just saying, we're just thinking about.
Well, here's what I wanted to say. Eric Clanton is in that camp. Antifa is in that camp. If you want to say white people are committing acts of terror, by all means include Eric Clanton, who was flying the flag of Antifa. Like, I have no problem. Look, these attacks did happen. We know that there have been white people who have done horrible things.
Right.
And Eric Clanton is one of them. He was flying the flag of Antifa. Antifa was throwing explosives at people. They stabbed the guy in the chest.
Right, they want to consider Jeremy Christian a terrorist. Why don't they consider him a terrorist? Right, exactly.
Yeah, well, exactly. So, as far as I'm concerned, look, I'm not here to argue what I think should be. If they tell me Jeremy Christian is a white terrorist, I say, okay, then by your own standards, so is Eric Clanton.
Right.
I'm not saying Jeremy Christian is not. Certainly, he killed 2 guys, and it's a complicated case. But Eric Clanton is there too. This is what bothers me, is that, you know, everyone should just flat out call it like it is.
Right. Call it
has there been instances where white people have killed minorities for racist reasons, for religious and political reasons? Fuck yes. Absolutely. And we've seen some really, really nasty stuff, like the shooting up in Quebec when the guy went to that mosque and killed those Muslims. That's one of the worst things we've seen. I wouldn't equate what that guy did with Eric Clanton, but Eric Clanton still tried to kill people. And that's homicide detectives investigating this guy because he seriously bashed someone over the head who was on his knees with his hands in the air.
Nice.
So I'm sitting here, and you know what I see?
Someone said they donated $10 to your super chat.
I appreciate it.
A little bit ago.
I just see people who mostly agree on like American basic things, disagree on a lot of core issues, and then protest different things.
Right.
Like the people on this side, both sides are protesting something different from what their signs say.
Right.
They're protesting each other. Right. The people over here say that they're fighting fascism, but really it's just they're really anti-Trump.
Right.
And the people on the Sharia side are actually protesting like communism and socialism and political correctness. But when you I talked to a guy from Antifa, he flat out said he didn't like Sharia law. Okay. And I'm like,
because it goes against what they say. It goes against feminism. It goes against gays. It goes against everything.
But also across the street, everyone with those American flags opposes fascism too.
Right. I mean, we basically trolled them into advocating for Sharia law today. That's exactly what we've trolled Antifa.
So this was the question I had. Is what would happen if the Trump supporters held an anti-racism rally? Would they show up and protest it? Honestly,
probably.
I think because, well, I don't want to say yes or no, but the point I'm trying to make is, it's a rhetorical question, is that this right now is more about people fighting each other's side and winning than it is the actual ideas they claim to be protesting.
Right.
Which is why I was physically attacked by one of these people. He's not here to oppose violence, to oppose fascism. He physically attacked me unprovoked. Unprovoked, came up to me, started screaming at me, and then physically attacked me twice. Because it's not right. It's not about what he believes. It's about him being right and feeling emotionally vindicated. And because I'm not here for anybody, he's not going to say anything that's going to make me angry.
Shout out to
when he started swearing at me, I just filmed him. I said, I'll give you a platform too. So he physically attacks me. He wanted the emotional satisfaction of a victory against symbols he finds, problematic.
Someone donated $10 so that I can call you a Russian shill.
All right. Yeah, sure.
I'm a sellout, guys. Sorry.
It was funny. Something going on.
Right.
Yeah, everybody knows that guy.
Yeah. Did you interview him?
Yeah. He basically said that the people on the right need to call out people like Identity Europa.
Why don't they call out people like Antifa?
That's what I asked him too.
Yeah, he's completely.
But it's not like I'm trying to say he's wrong. No, I mean, look, Identity Europa can have their politics so long as they're not getting violent. Antifa can have their politics so long as they're not getting violent. Antifa has physically attacked me. At the same time, this is not a free speech rally.
Right.
You don't need to allow people with swastika tattoos to come in here. Now, I'm not saying there actually are people there. He's claiming that there are guys over here who have swastika tattoos. I didn't see that. But if that's true, then by all means, right? Weed out the extremism as far as I'm concerned. But it's so damn complicated, man. It's just no problem.
Appreciate it, man.
It's just people trying to win, and so they'll pretty much take whatever they can get. If that's Antifa, they'll take it. If that's Identity Europa, they'll take it.
Right.
And I'm just gonna go after this, and I'm gonna play some video games or something.
Fuck yeah. Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up?
How's it going?
Shot 45. Just wanna
Oh yeah. You had the bike lock video.
Yeah, that's right.
That's you.
Yeah.
That everyone stole, right?
That everyone stole. Yeah. But, hey, you know what? It got out and around. It was cool to see it on Tucker Carlson just because no one else wanted to cover it. So.
Well, legally, they can fair use it for the public.
That's what I figured.
Yeah,
you know, and like that's the thing. People ask me, and I'm like, whatever. I don't even care.
Well, so I'm not a lawyer, but here's the general idea is that if you produce news content to be sold, they can't fair use it. But if you produce content inadvertently as like a citizen journalist, they can. So it looks like you produce media as a journalist. In which case, they've infringed your mark and they owe you money.
Oh, really?
So you can actually just send them an invoice.
Really?
I'd recommend it, yeah.
Okay. You know what? Hey, look. I take advice from you. I watch your live stream. I got the press.
From Easy ID. Yeah.
All right.
That's basically the same one I got.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate all the help, man.
Right on, man, for sure. So look like they're taking off maybe, or what? Looks like the counter protest is wrapping up, taking off. Yeah, they're out. Looks like we're getting close to the end of this one. Oh shit.
Fuck them. Fucking tired of this shit. Keep going this way! Wrong shortcut, back to the cars. You gotta go back to our cars this way. Wait, those fuckers can drive? No way, those fuckers have cars. What, you buy it for them? Mr. Check the They used to. Don't crush the Prius on the way home! Hey, fuck your Prius, too! You make your mommy mad! Good job, Tim, man. Good job, man. We love you.
Thanks, dude.
Thank you.
So for those that are watching right now, a group of the anti-Sharia side is trying to chase down the Antifa people who left. But I think a lot of the Antifa people got in cars.
What was happening here?
They were chasing after Antifa.
They were chasing after them.
Yeah, but Antifa got in like trucks and stuff, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think I saw some of them hit some of their cars.
Oh, damn it.
Yeah.
My camera was off.
Yeah, some of them hit some of their cars.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Women. Cannot assault women. And passing Sharia law would respect Muslim religion. That's a violation of the First Amendment says Congress cannot pass a law respecting the establishment of religion. You have the freedom to assemble and freedom of speech. So I'm just here respecting the First Amendment of the Constitution. Just like them. Just like them. They're using the First Amendment. No, we know about you.
You don't even know who I am.
You with Trump and you with them. If you're not gonna stand for justice. Here we go.
Hey, police, we being threatened.
Here we go.
We being threatened.
See, and that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Martin Luther King from Birmingham jail. We trying to fight this. But who they coming for? They come right in. Back up, guys. And you got to look, and now she got to right here. Why are you here? We trying to go home. We trying to go home. And why are you here? Back away from them. That's what I want to do. You're poor blocking it.
She's blocking his way. And the dog.
Get in your car.
Yes, I'm lying. I'm not a liar. I'm not lying.
Get in your car.
Yeah, she's lying. No, so for those that are watching, you saw me walk up. This old woman, she's not with the rally, obviously. She's just walking her dog, it looks like. But now they're accusing her of blocking his car, which is not the case. They started just yelling at this old woman with the bullhorn, really, really close, honestly. And we just heard the officer say that you're lying, and yes, in fact, she is lying. This is San Bernardino, about 50, 60 miles outside of Los Angeles.
Feel the burn stickers in the back of the car there.
But this guy right here in this blue car walked up to this old woman in the red and started bullhorning very close to her face.
Okay, so this guy in the blue car walked up to that old lady with the Trump hat and started yelling in her face with the bullhorn, reportedly by Tim Pool.
It doesn't even look like she's here with the rally. It looks like she's walking her dog and lives over here. But this guy started bullhorning, I don't want to say in her face, but basically in her face.
Right.
And just calling her a white supremacist, saying like he knows who she is and things like that. And then this woman in this car told the police that the woman in red was blocking his car in, and the cop said, "You're a liar." She was lying. That's not true.
Was she lying? Okay.
Absolutely.
So she was lying. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, that's good. I mean, San Bernardino is very.
That old woman was doing nothing but walking her dog.
Right.
And then these guys come up and I'm like, there's very few things in this world that's going to make me intervene in a moment like this. But that woman clearly was not with the rally, and you don't walk up to a little old lady and start bullhorning in her face.
Right.
I wasn't going to fight anybody, no, but these guys came up and the police intervened. So.
Have you ever fought anyone?
Not since I was like a teenager.
Okay.
I mean, here's the thing, right? When that guy grabbed me earlier, the biggest problem is the only time I'm ever going to get into a fight is something like this.
Right.
And that means I will be arrested. So look, I know what'll happen. If I want to win a fight here, it means I have to go down on purpose.
Right.
It means I have to let them hit me, go down. The only way you won't get arrested is if you're shielding yourself and on the ground.
Right.
I'm not being hyperbolic. The police are going to come up and see anybody in a fighting stance, you're both getting arrested.
Right, that's true.
So what are my choices?
Right.
I'd prefer to just avoid the conflict. I don't want to. But the thing is, I don't want to break this. But I really, really was if that guy was getting at me, I'm like, I'm holding this fucking camera.
Arrested, but you might not get charged.
No, it'd probably be dropped because I have video evidence that the guy attacked me. But
right.
What am I supposed to do, man? These people are nuts.
You guys take care. He's honking, looking away.
So for those that are watching, we just saw some of the counter protesters yelling at an old woman, which was it pissed me off. Gotta say, that does not make me happy. And for those of you who follow my stuff, you know that I'm the angriest I get is still mildly perturbed. I'm never. But that was boiling my blood. Come on, man. Look, if you want to go to a political rally and you want to yell at somebody and they're yelling back, and then people walk up to each other and fight, that pisses me off. Right? I don't like the violence. That doesn't solve anything. Nobody figures out anything new. No one learns anything. But there's a little old lady walking her dog, and you want to walk up and put a bullhorn in her face? I'm sorry. That just ticks me off. I guess I don't want to see anybody start a fight with anybody else. People are running, and then everyone automatically assumes a fight's on. Man, I haven't even had breakfast. I woke up, hopped in the car, came straight out. Whew. Yeah, the other day, man, it was rough. I was filming a trick skateboarding for my buddy who's got he's like one of the most famous skate video producers. Does these beautiful cinematic shots. His name's Brett Novak. We were doing one of my I was doing a video for him. One of the hardest tricks I've ever done, and whoa. No idea.
You don't know your big time.
Is that a Hoboken?
You're against the young man. Hey, don't hate. I'm not hating. Don't hate, man.
What are you with?
I believe those are Hoboken.
We respect you guys. We have no problem with you guys.
Wooden swords.
We're not trying to cause any issues. We have nothing but respect for all of you men and women over here.
The horses are just like, yep, another day.
You know what's funny? Is that because I'm white, you guys think I'm on the side? That's wrong. That's actually racist and prejudiced. Is that why? I don't even have anything on. You literally said I'm racist. Is it because I'm white?
I don't hate nobody.
Now there's mostly just lingering anti-Sharia protesters. How's it going, man? And the police here, Hoboken, I believe it's called. Is that a Hoboken, you guys? B-O-K-E-N. Got these wooden swords. Almost like ancient samurai with their wooden swords on horseback.
Am I allowed to take a picture of the officers that protected us?
So now that most of the counter-protesters, Antifa, etc. are gone, things are a little rowdy.
No Sharia law. Thank you. Get off the property. Hey! Exit the property.
So it's one thing I noticed before is that usually what you'll see. There might be some agitation or argument, but usually the Trump supporting group will just abide by the police orders. And so now they're all calling for everyone to get off the property here. I haven't heard the police say that might be the case, but you usually will see the right, if that's what you want to call it, just agreeing with police, and they have the Blue Lives Matter flags, and when the police say go, they say you got it. Whereas the counter-protest Antifa typically says, things like all cops are bastards. So see the cop officer here is waving people to come off the property, and everyone's doing it. It's about how it goes.
No Sharia law. No Sharia law.
No Sharia law.
I'll just be real for a second. When I walk through the crowd of Trump-supporting anti-Sharia people, literally worried about nothing. Absolutely nothing. The only thing I'm worried about is that someone's gonna come up to me and try and talk to me or stand in front of the camera or something like that. Literally, I was physically attacked by Antifa. Oh, that's one of their signs.
Yeah.
Hey, Tim Pool! Watch Joe Rogan!
What?
Watch Joe Rogan!
No Sharia law! 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 270 million, that's enough.
Excuse me.
Billy Graham book in
Let's see if my water is where I left it. Yep, right in its little cup holder. Look at that. Just chilling right here in this tree. Thank you, tree. Trees. Good for more than just wood, shade, and oxygen. People are like, no, it's poisoned. Like, yeah, I don't know, maybe. Whatever. A lot of cops over here. Whew. I really wish I had my phone clip on me because I need to get some GoPro shots of all this now.
their Quran. It's literal.
How's it going, man?
There's Christians who believe their Bible.
Oh, man. That's breakfast. I'm covered in dirt, dust. You know, I only got 3,393 steps in at this march. That is not good enough. In Portland, it was something like 23,000. Oh, yeah. My watch even considered a portion of it workout minutes. I think I was running after the police when they're firing stun grenades and things like that. Noise grenades.
Can you give me a call Monday? I'm sorry,
What should I eat after this? It is hot out here, that's for sure. Actually, I take that back. The sun is hot. I was saying that because my GoPro is boiling up. And it's actually just because it's in a black grip. It's actually crisp. Not too bad. I think it's in the high 70s.
Once it's anti-government, we have no choice.
Well, for those that are watching, I think this is about it. I don't want to keep the feed up simply for the sake of a feed. So, let me give you all a quick recap. Whoa, I dropped it. Okay, that thing can't hold my camera. So, poor connection. There is still a small group here. Most people have left. How's it going, everybody? So, I'm here in San Bernardino, California. It's about 50 or 60 miles outside of Los Angeles. If you're just tuning in, this was an anti-Sharia protest with counter-protests from Antifa and some other groups. You can find me on Twitter at Timcast, Timcast. Subscribe to my YouTube channel for more videos like this every single day. A video about today and some other things. I want to talk a bit about the left, the right, and there's some interesting things happening where the left has been attacking its own. And so I'm going to talk a bit about that, and this will be kind of a backdrop to that. What we saw today, not a whole lot. I don't believe we had any arrests. There were some scuffles, I think the most interesting thing I saw was that I got physically attacked by one of the Antifa guys who was like, I explained this earlier, and I guess what it is, people come out to attack a symbol of what they feel oppresses them. Both sides are protesting each other, but their core cause is different. One side is anti-Sharia, the other side is anti-Trump. Neither of them is specifically what the other is. Their messages are not what's being protested. It's the physical beings that people are yelling at, and so it's people become a symbol, right? So this guy was yelling at me, F Tim Pool and stuff like that, and he's not gonna make me mad. Like, by all means, swear at me, insult me, call me whatever the hell you want. And so I just filmed him. So I guess if I were to make an assumption as to why he attacked me, if he can't get me angry, if he can't troll me, the only thing he can do is physically attack me, and that's when you lose. And he attacked me twice, and I got it on camera, so we'll see what comes out. But that's really about it. Right now, most people have been leaving. There's still a small group. I'll hang out for a little bit longer, but I think the stream's going to come down. So again, follow me on Twitter at Timcast. I'm also on Instagram at Timcast. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. I do a live stream every Sunday, and I believe tomorrow at 8 p.m. I'll be live to have a recap on a lot of the core issues and things that have going on throughout the past week. I'm trying to fly to Korea on Tuesday, just to go, because I'm sick of saying I'm going to go and I'm not going. So we'll watch. I'll end up not going or something. Other than that, I just want to say I heard that Luke Rudkowski and Lauren Southern got hit with urine in New York. So what a day. I'll see you all tomorrow. Someone said, interview me in Korea. If you are in Korea, email me right now, tim@tagg.ly. My email is on my Twitter, but seriously, if you're in Korea, hit me up and we'll hang out. And you can show me like live octopus or something.